Well, we'll do a little formal introduction here. Welcome back, gentlemen. Fine, and this is your weekly podcast that you come to it for the Doofles Incorporated, as well as me, myself, and our guest, who's on for the third time now.
Third time.
Third time.
Alumni. He's an alumni.
Back
dude.
again.
I'm an experienced alumni.
We're gonna
too, not just an alumni.
we're gonna get him a jacket, dude. We're not.
A jacket.
Imagine
we're
if we
not.
got
We don't
him a
even have our
fucking
own.
Letterman.
We don't even have our own. He's not getting one. He's not getting one.
No, it's good to be back. I honestly love doing this with you.
No, it's a
No,
lot of
we
fun.
should start doing that. We should start
Dude, that's the way you, instead of taking him out to dinner, we just.
Like, yeah, bro, we got a sick ass hat for you.
Yeah.
It's in the.
Then it'll get here eventually.
Yeah, no, we're waiting on it. It got back ordered, I swear.
Yeah.
And as soon as like you have a falling out with them, you're like, I'm fucking keeping that hat too, motherfucker.
That's mine now.
Yeah.
That's mine
No,
now.
yeah, but thank you guys for tuning in this week. Again, as always, it's great to have you guys listening. All 20 of you, fucking awesome. You guys are beautiful. We love you guys. Keep pushing out there. Thank you, Cole, for coming back on, dude.
Anytime.
I know he's excited to be back on today because, you
I
know,
am.
as you can see, he shaved and he has a mustache. That means something
It's a
special is
different
coming.
world out here.
Yeah, so, you know what?
I've seen it.
I've seen it.
As we all know, whenever you go down to the solo stash, either you're trying something different or something just happened in your life. I'm kidding.
Trauma.
Said trying something different. Is that one way? That's one way of putting it.
It's the male version
It's
of a
not.
midlife crisis. Solo stash. Holy shit!
It's my not quite a porn stash. That's what I'm calling it.
Not quite a porn.
Not
Because you still
quite
got
a porn stash.
full patch
got
at the
this,
bottom.
and you got a little bit of some handlebars here.
Yeah, it's not a
So,
porn stash. No,
the porn stash would not have the
yours looks
handlebars,
good.
first of
When
all.
I do a solo stash, it's rough.
I think you look great. Who told you that?
I don't know. Actually, it was mostly just Darian roasting me every day, but it got it got to me.
And now we don't even know where he is.
I might do solo stat.
Off the
You hear this, Darian? We're all counting on you.
Counting on you to come back, dude. Right, dude. No,
We're
I should.
counting
I
on
might
you,
go
bud.
back solo stash. That's what Tommy did though. He did a little solo stash with the,
Tommy rocks the porn stash.
but he does the
Oh, does he have the thing
he
too?
he keeps the
I
soul
don't know what you
patch.
call that.
Soul
The
patch.
Soul patch.
Soul patch. Yeah, you should just go soul
I
patch.
really like the.
You don't? I think it's all. I think it's fitting.
It sounds so 80s.
No, it's soul patch. It's like nowadays. It sounds douche. It's like douchey. No,
It
it's
is
a goatee.
douchey. It is douchey.
I feel like it
Oh,
is
you're right.
like just the soul patch though, like no stash.
Does anyone do that?
Just soul patch.
Just you,
Yeah.
bro.
Damn.
No, you
Damn.
no, you have the stash though, so it's not. Does anyone go just soul patch?
I used to know a guy, Richard, that I worked with at the Donkey. Shout
is-
out, Richard. Real weird guy, to be honest. Sorry, Richard.
Shout out Richard. Sorry.
He had just the soul patch. There was also times where he had just the strap, like the chin strap,
No, yeah,
not have the
I
soul
don't-
patch or the patch.
I don't like that either.
And he would have the line that went along his jawline. Guess maybe he felt like it made him.
Or get
He had to have the strap. He was trying to keep his head on straight.
oh
I'm
Howie
getting Mr.
Mandel.
Monopoly.
Howie Mandel used to have the soul.
Oh, Howie Mandel, but he was bald. I
He
have
used
long
to have
hair.
the soul patch. Jazz musicians in the 1940s and 50s helped to popularize soul patches. That would
Well,
make
dude,
Who helped popularize the Hitler stash? You Google
see,
that?
like let's look at just
would
look.
you please Google that?
Oh
No, yeah, it's
man,
not.
No.
It should
Who
not.
helped?
Who is that? Who's that? The singer of? Is that
It do-
trapped? Is
it-
that trapped?
I
Swear
don't-
to God.
I don't know, but it does
Full
not
circle.
look like
Who helped popularize the Hitler stash?
it. Doesn't give him. It doesn't say who. He said if it's trapped. Not that I have anything against him. You haven't paid me back.
Yeah, still waiting
Um,
on that $60.
Yeah.
That
Hey, dude.
name, I might be wrong.
Honestly, though, you at this point, I don't even think it'd matter if you called him out. It's not. I don't think that would ruin your career. I think their career's kind of already in the toilet. It's
Yeah,
not like they have
probably.
a say. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, it was when they didn't give us that goddamn $60 back.
like
Eric Career was in the toilet then.
that's what I'm saying.
I'm all over Facebook.
Hey, they had all the.
It says that actually Charlie Chaplin made the
Oh, he did. Yeah,
popular
that's
before
true.
Hitler.
That is true.
Hey,
that
what-
is true.
Turn thing.
Was it The Greatest Dictator?
No, he always had that mustache.
He did always have that mustache.
Yeah, and he was.
What'd
he
you
was
say?
like
The Greatest Dictator.
Is that a movie?
Yeah.
the movie about Charlie.
Whereas Charlie Chaplin is like it's basically talking about like World War II, I believe.
He was
or
very
World War I.
outspokenly against World.
He was.
I mean, but
yeah.
but I mean, he was.
And at the end, he
very
gives that speech.
pro-American.
It was called the greatest speech ever told. It's like
Yeah,
that's what
there's
people
a
named it, but it.
This is
Great
where my
band,
ignorance-
the Chariot. Chariot has a song called I think. All their song names, but I think that one is Speak, and a really great melody, and then it plays the entire Charlie, like a good portion of the Charlie Chaplin.
From that
background.
movie, like the.
No, it's the actual gave live television.
Oh, nice.
But it was but it's really he's like super pro-American.
Charlie Chaplin.
Yeah, very serious person outside of his
When you say
Somebody-
pro-American, like what aspect?
Like, he
because
was
they're
very-
compared to-
like he was very let's get in this war and
Fuck yeah!
let's fucking stop the Germans like before we got into
But then I feel like he gave it like that whole like movie was against war. Weird. That's weird. Then
Is that what the
Okay.
movie was
Charlie
about?
Chaplin.
Yeah.
Was like him saying like we shouldn't be like killing each other and
Charlie Chaplin.
we
Yeah.
shouldn't. Is it?
He says you give yourselves to machine men.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is
With
that one?
Oh, is
machine
that what that
minds
speaks-
and
No Jews or we shouldn't hate people if they're Jews or Gentiles. It
that-
shouldn't matter what you're.
I guess the way I
Yeah.
took it was because of the attack on the
movie?
Jewish people. He was fuck it.
That might be.
But
it
he
then.
was definitely
movie?
against tyrants.
Yeah, that too.
Arguably at the time, all the
Tyrants. What?
Was it on like a?
we
Oh.
had. There's a live recording of. That's what the Chariot used.
But it's the movie was, yeah, where like
I have not seen the movie.
what the greatest dictator, yeah.
That
Dude, that movie's older. Yeah, that's black. That was still black and white.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, that movie was still in black
Didn't they
and
just
white.
recently come out with a Charlie Chaplin movie? though?
40.
1940. What?
Didn't they just recently come out with a Charlie Chaplin movie though? Am I wrong?
No,
Oh no, dude. I wouldn't doubt it.
Charlie Chaplin.
Is it really?
I
I'm
wish it
tired
was.
of you saying that. Thought you were looking it up and you're like, no, it is actually Charlie Chaplin. I was like, I doubt that.
Yes.
Charlie Chaplin.
Not see that coming.
Charlie Chaplin.
That's not surprising. Maybe I'm wrong.
You know,
Could have sworn.
as much as like the creators of Rick and Morty are pieces of shit,
Are they?
well, Dan
This- the-
Harmon.
I don't know any- I
Just
don't know
the
anything
two
about it.
main. I feel like most probably
The writers are doing their job, but like the main creators definitely have gotten. Yeah, I don't know if you've heard.
I don't pay attention. To be honest, I like
You're right.
actively try to stay out of the
So Dan
the
Har.
whole cancel thing.
So Dan Harmon essentially. I mean, that one's a
it was
little.
a documentary.
Well, I mean, it might be terrible. I have no idea. And
Like,
if
it's
I
Dan
hear it, I'll
Harmon,
probably
yeah.
be like, "Oh God, I can't watch this
Like,
show."
no, no,
but
no,
I
I'm talking-
actively try to
Roiland.
not pay attention.
No,
to
I know, but
a
I'm
lot
trying to
of
give him
that
the
stuff.
original. So Dan Harmon originally, it was him. There was an old skit that came back up of him of the doll. It was a doll, but it was a baby doll. He's like, like pretending to fuck the doll.
Oh,
And everyone's
okay.
like, dude, that's fucked up. That's not
How
funny.
old was he?
It's like
Older.
Fifth-
Was he on drugs?
I mean, probably
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
Comedy.
I don't know if that's a good comparison.
It's
but-
probably
it was distasteful.
yeah.
It was distasteful and weird. It wasn't so bad where you look at it you're like this guy needs. We need to
it
stop.
was taken as like, well, if you're making
But there's
That's a
also
tough-
been
that's a
other. I
tough
think there
one.
was also like some other.
Yeah,
things
does
that
it get
came out
worse than
about
that?
it.
Because I feel like in the name of
No,
I mean, not saying the joke was appropriate at all.
Dan
but
Harmon. I don't
When
think
you're
he
on
is that-
drugs, I mean, like, I don't know if you guys, whatever, you don't have to or anything, but pretty comfortable admitting
Yeah, Dan
that. There was a
Harmon-
point where I had a problem.
He also got in
I
trouble for
try not
sex.
to judge myself for the things I was doing at the time of whenever problem.
Right.
He admitted guilt to sexually harassing one of them.
And then it was taken to a next level.
And then
Yeah.
there was that.
And
And
then
then there was that.
And then Justin
there was
Roiland.
that.
Justin Roiland basically kidnapped his ex, and then also I think beat her, and then
What? Oh, these guys are fucking crazy.
yeah.
No way. Oh,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
See,
So
this is why I
Roiland-
don't pay attention to the
Harmon was
stuff.
on the side of things. Roiland was
I heard he
a
didn't do
ma-
any of the writing really at all.
he was,
He was
like,
just doing voice acting.
Yes.
he was like voice actor for all.
Harry.
Jerry, President. Those are all separate voices.
I've not seen the whole show, so I wasn't like the guy that was like.
I loved
I
it.
actually found it a little bit obnoxious. At
I'd
first,
see that
'cause everybody was
from
so
you.
obsessed with it, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm that asshole that I'm like,
know,
oh,
yeah.
everybody's talking about it. I'm not gonna watch it.
I haven't watched The Last of Us. Probably missing
have.
out, but I'm
I have because I
Caring.
played the game, so I basically was like, oh, I have to see this to see them completely ruin
I heard it's
my
good though.
favorite, like one of my
Right.
favorite games. And I do think the game is a little bit overrated, but it's a fucking good game.
I heard
Like,
it's a great show too though.
you know what I felt
the
like that
show
about?
is awesome. They
I-
have they've gone off the books a little bit, like with
But they still execute it pretty well.
well, I mean, it's good episode. Like no, yeah, they execute it well. Like they're still pretty good. Like it's not what happened in the game, and at first you're like, oh fuck, that's how it went. But then they do it, and you're like, that's still really good. It's a really good episode, though.
Like I could be like a about this.
and
say that
it's
that's
mostly
not-
minor difference.
Okay,
So
I feel you though. I'm the same way though. If I hear a bunch of people talking
it's
about
like
it,
a
it just
character
doesn't-
arc that.
what was it? Episode 3 or 4?
Spoiler alert.
Oh,
I don't care. Bang it.
so fair enough.
Done talk.
Episode 3 or 4.
Probably a minute.
Episode 3 or 4.
Do what you
with
do.
the boyfriends, right? With Ron Swanson.
Yeah, well, I remember them.
So
They're being a
that
Ron
is
Swanson's
not
one of
how
my
it went in the game. But
No, see, okay, this is what I read, like when I was reading about it, because there was a big controversy, as you know, in EC.
I mean, who
Who gives a
cares?
fuck,
It's-
right? We don't, but you know, for some
yeah,
reason
yeah,
people
for
do.
sure, for sure.
But people were saying, "Oh, that's not a part of the game." But then there was like things at the game hinting at it, like where he was like, "That was my partner," but it was more than just his partner. It
I don't-
was
Right.
his
The
life
game-
partner.
The game was not made in.
I'm not a big
I
video
could be
game.
totally wrong about that. I might,
We could-
Armand
I
not
might just
knowing.
be thinking Cyberpunk and
Yeah,
Witcher,
we'll
but-
Google it.
but I mean either way, not that really matters, but I would think that some of them don't have the same expectations. Like The Witcher would not have been made the same in
Oh, you talking about where it's filmed and everything, or like that?
No,
Those
just like the
studios
writing
were there.
and
It
the,
was-
the release,
it
like
was-
the content of the game would probably have been very different if it was made in America because it would have had American people like scrutinizing and criticizing a little bit more than it.
I don't want to watch it anymore though, because it's not going to be. Why can't I remember his name right now? Superman.
Henry Cavill? Oh,
Yeah.
the show? Oh no, I was talking about the video game.
Oh, the video game. Okay.
Yeah, I was talking
Talking
about,
about
like
The
the
Witcher?
Yeah.
Obviously, The Last of Us TV show is made in America. Assuming they filmed
Oh, you
it,
talking about, yeah, you were
Alberta,
talking about the
actually.
game.
but the video game was made in Alberta. Really?
I'm
That
finding
makes
out
sense
where
because
the
of the
video-
snow, I guess. I mean, maybe they filmed in different. But either way, yeah, it's the thing is like, and don't get me wrong, like I want things to stay true to the source material because I love the source material. I don't care that they, you know what I mean, like the context of it or anything. And that's why I'm saying, like, people that have a problem with it, bro, that was such a good episode that had almost tears coming to my face.
Yeah, I think they brought to
You know what I
life.
mean?
I think in that episode, the difference is, they just go way off and they change a bunch of stuff. In that instance, they took the basis of the storyline that they were given and they just kind of elaborated on, like, they took a take on it, you know what I mean, and elaborated on it in a way that seemed actually viable, sensible, and
It was just good writing.
exactly
The
that
writing
too.
was so good. I mean, like, you didn't see, or at least even as someone that played the game, I did not see that twist coming of him being gay. Like, I didn't see that coming. And
But
then
it
when they
coulda made
did it,
sense,
I
too.
was like, oh man, this is like really deep. And he was the whole time, and he hates people. You know what I mean? And then they throw in that curveball, and I mean, the way he poured the wine and everything, and that you end up finding out he is a much deeper person than prepper that you think he is at the beginning of the episode, right? And then you find out there's like so much more and everything. That's good writing. That was just like really good writing for cinema. So, I mean, like, who cares if like, as long as it's an improvement, I don't care if it goes. I want it to stick mainly to it, but if they go off on little tangents like that, I'm like, if it's good writing, then that's just a plus, isn't it?
Felt exactly that way about I loved the game.
It was funny. I
loved
thought
the
it was
game.
like really
And
humorous and
So
fun.
I thought that
The
but
movie, of course.
yeah, but I thought that it was
Everything.
like
Everything. You can't. Yeah.
I thought it had almost no core to most of what it had to offer.
it was a
I
take.
mean, like, it was obviously other and shit like that, but like it artistic take on it. Not in the fuck. This isn't what happened in the fucking game, dude. Who wrote this shit,
This is-
man?
This is the thing. I've never played
Nah,
any
I
of those
paid for
games.
This? What the fuck are we
What
watching?
the? This is I thought I was gonna be able to fucking do the combo.
I can't even watch this if Nathan's not gonna fucking rappel down. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I'm not gonna lie. I haven't played any of the Uncharted games.
I did not either.
But I love
I've
the
not
movie.
played
I
any
thought-
of those
I didn't, like,
games.
love
I was
it,
an
but-
Xbox kid.
Yeah, me too. I didn't like love it, but I thought it was real. I thought like the dynamic between.
It is, but I was given I was given a PlayStation from one of my friends about 2.5 years ago, and I played through a couple games that I wanted to play through. Like, so I had PlayStation 2. I got PlayStation 1 when I was a kid. We had PlayStation 2, skipped 3.
Go from
Yeah,
PlayStation 2 to Xbox.
I did.
No, so I had PlayStation 1. I had PlayStation 1, and then my parents got divorced. My dad got a PlayStation 2, and then my mom and my stepdad got an original Xbox. So at one of the other house, we had PlayStation or Xbox. But Halo.
Dude, that's what I was
Dude.
thinking.
Halo.
That you read my mind.
Halo
dude.
came out, and then Gun. I don't know if you remember Gun, but it
Yeah,
was
no, I
Oh
do
my
remember
god,
that.
dude, Gun was the
Great game.
shit, dude.
good
Oh,
story.
man. I
Yeah,
forgot
and Red
about
Dead
that.
Revolver.
Dead Redemption.
No, Red Dead
Oh,
Revolver.
Revolver.
Yes,
I do
like,
remember that
on
one.
a
I don't
It was
remember
like
that.
the-
I do remember
the
Gun. I
black
love
cover
Gun.
with the red.
Well, it was red.
Cover
Like
type
red was
shit.
on the character that's
Right,
on the front. And
yeah.
I think he's like most resembles what's the main guy in Red Dead Redemption? First one.
Oh, fuck.
And he's at the end of the second.
I was never a big video game
But
person.
he has the same scars on his face. But they don't acknowledge that the games are. But he coincidentally same hat.
John Marston.
John Marston. So in Red Dead Redemption, you are a bounty hunter and you wear the vest. He has the scars on his face and he has the hat, but they never acknowledge that the games are. They are both made by Rockstar. They both look like the exact same main character.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm kind of off
Love
that.
those games though.
And there's
Dude, can I be honest with you guys? Unpopular opinion, that game is fucking lame.
Okay, look.
Okay, so no. Where I was going with that, only reason I say that is because
Now,
they had this fucking a narrative that the new Grand Theft Galveston type shit.
Doubt it.
That at the time it seemed dope though. I was like,
Yeah, it
fucking
would be cool.
sick. You know what I mean? But I was like, shit, dude. I'll just go down like mom stays and just like buy the house there. And you know what I mean?
Yeah. But
Start
no,
breaking.
that would just be real life.
No.
For us, yeah.
Houston to
Yes,
Galveston
but-
region.
But you can't run
Yeah.
over people in real life with no consequences. You can't. Depends on
How
the
much-
county, brother.
How much time in Galveston have you spent?
Yeah, but nah,
Hey,
that's
what sheriff is on
Yeah.
call right now?
Holy like it was fun. It was fun while like when it first came when Grand Theft Auto was booming, like Vice City, fucking
Okay, Vice City
San
was good.
Andreas was the first
I
game
did
you
not
could swim
have
in.
San Andreas.
That's the first
That was
Grand
the-
Theft Auto
that's
you
the
could
main.
swim in.
Yeah, but that doesn't belong in Grand Theft Auto.
What?
Swimming.
Yeah, it did.
No,
At
I'm
that
just
time.
kidding.
I was
You
tired
can't
of you
do
falling.
that.
So you've never been in the ocean and just been like,
I'm
I
a-
could like shoot somebody right now.
I'm a video game elitist. I don't believe in the new stuff. It's all about the old. No,
Yeah,
I'm
but-
just kidding.
Yeah, nah. Grand Theft Auto.
Elder
at
Scrolls
its time.
though.
Elder Scrolls.
Oblivion is the best Elder Scrolls game.
Everyone says that. Skyrim
ever
was
come
still
out.
good though.
Run
Skyrim
through
was
all your
good.
old favorite Xbox games. You're like, yeah, dude.
Dude, I reminisce.
Living
Metal
on
Gear
the
Solid
Six,
2,
Skyrim,
PlayStation
Elder
2.
Scrolls,
Actually,
Halo, that-
I was a big Metal Gear fan.
You ever play-
Huge Metal
ever
Gear
play-
fan. Every Metal Gear
Metal
game
Gear
I've
was-
played.
Fucking sick. Do you ever play
Here's a
Portal.
War was sick.
I did play all Portals and
Portals
Half-Life.
was fire
I
too.
did play
Half-Life was
as
fire
well.
too. Damn, dude.
Those are
Memory
good.
lane video games, bro.
Memory lane, dude.
Dude, for real though, like
I have like the biggest memory. I don't know if this. I used to play the fucking
I
Dude.
only had one on PlayStation 1.
dude. So like that, those were the funnest ones though. Like the
On PlayStation 1?
the super old ones that were like
shitty.
they were real,
Yeah.
They were fun. Those were
That's one
fun.
way to
though.
put it.
Those are
real
fun, though.
shitty graphics, but like so many more capabilities. Like you could throw people like off like out of the
Oh,
into
yeah.
the crowd, fucking bloody people.
You cross the sting, you get stung.
Well, y'all play PlayStation. Y'all have PlayStation 2, right?
Yeah.
I had
Y'all play Sly Cooper though.
Yes.
yes,
Dude, fucking honestly, one of the best fucking PlayStation.
Crash
2.
Bandicoot.
Dude,
yeah, for
Warped.
sure. Do you remember
I had
the
Warped on
007
Ratchet Clank,
games?
bro.
Y'all play
Ratchet
the
and
007
Clank.
games?
What was it? Jack and Daxter?
Oh, dude, yeah.
Like I play that one.
Y'all play the 007
Yes,
PlayStation-
dude.
Yeah.
007 was
Oh,
the
and-
shit.
N64?
or the
was
Tom
it Super
Clancy
Dude, no.
Nintendo? GoldenEye? Which one
Splinter
was it?
Cells and
They don't-
shit.
Oh,
Splinter Cell
okay.
was the shit too, but in 64.
Splinter
It
Cell
was in
pissed me
64.
off because
those
I liked.
fucking-
I was like, I was that guy when I was younger, and I was like, "Fuck Splinter Cell! It's all about Metal Gear. It's all about Metal Gear." And people were like, "Street Fighter." I was like, "Mortal Kombat."
You were tribal with
Get
your
outta
video
here.
games.
Yeah, literally, yes.
Street Fighter though was fire, but Mortal Kombat was also Mortal Kombat hands down without a doubt
shit.
is the best fighting game ever.
Of all time.
Mechanics are great. You can't.
Yeah.
But I love fighting. I'm a big like
They've gotten
Tekken,
to like a
Soul
too good-
Calibur.
Okay, I did play
Soul-
Soul Calibur.
Soul Calibur.
That was like, I'll deal with it.
Tekken was my
The
favorite,
Final Fantasies were like a little bit.
but those were like storyline based
Yeah.
fighting games. They weren't like fighting games.
Yeah, I played. I wasn't a big portable gamer. I didn't like Pokemon, and I didn't like all the portable games. I just, somebody with ADHD, it was very hard to concentrate on it. Like while you're looking here at the screen, and then there's so much going on outside of it, very hard to concentrate on it. But I did have all of the portable. Like if it came out portable, I had the Final Fantasy. Like even 1, 2 for Game Boy,
I love the
and
Game
then
Boy.
they skip back and forth. Crystal Chronic. Well, no, that was.
You know what's crazy?
I had a bunch of Final Fantasy.
I still have my Game Boy Advance
Still have one. of
SP. I don't give a fuck. I'm holding on to that. That's people. You don't think
The
so?
relic.
It's gonna be one
It's a
day. I'm gonna
relic.
sell that bitch for.
I still have my PSP.
That's a relic too.
I
I
got
wish I
that.
still. Honestly, I wish I still had mine.
Dude, I still remember
still
like
had
whenever they
They sold movies on PSP. didn't
Dude,
they?
I
You know
watched
that?
him. You
So did
motherfucker!
I.
I watched him on
I
there.
still remember the day that they Call of Duty.
Oh
were
yeah.
fucking
Oh yeah. They had a Metal Gear for it too. Acid. Metal Gear Acid.
really.
Yep.
Dude, that's crazy. Never had a PS.
Dude, I had the ATV
Midnight
fucking
Club.
game on PSP. That hoe used to.
ATV
I'd be
versus
on the four wheeler.
Motocross.
Motocross
ATV
Unleashed.
Dude, just
versus
going
bro.
around the
Motocross,
track. I was
bro.
like, let's go.
Best soundtrack ever.
Dude.
The crazy.
No, those
soundtrack.
are like-
you could just be playing video games all day. Like fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah, it just leaves it on like American Wasteland.
Dude, early
Yeah.
2000s heavy on those
Dude,
games.
Oh, yeah.
straight up, fucking
So hard.
all the Tony Hawk games were.
Oh,
dude.
those soundtracks on Tony Hawk
Fun
might be,
fact.
honestly. I fucking Tony Hawk, fucking Underground, or
FIFA's
Tony
got
Hawk
some good
American
soundtracks,
Wasteland.
too, though. It's always on their
I had
soundtrack game.
FIFA
Oh,
was
and
a,
NHL.
Yeah.
NHL had.
but I would say
like,
FIFA was
punk
ahead of the
music.
game. FIFA
Oh,
was
I
always
always
like,
got NHL, like the demos.
Yeah.
Every year I would get the demo. Never bought the game that much. Oh, it was fun. I mean,
nothing can top FIFA though. I don't give a fuck, dude.
but I think like they
FIFA had such a good,
they're made by
like-
the same company. They have the it's probably
I've never owned a FIFA game.
it's probably
Love FIFA.
I hate sports
EA
games.
NHL, right?
Probably yeah.
Yeah,
I
I'm
mean the
pretty-
mechanics, I would imagine.
Dude,
Yeah.
FIFA is for sure my favorite sports
I think
game.
Madden. There's probably a production company for Madden that makes all of sports games.
I hate
because I'm pretty
Madden-
sure Madden holds a monopoly on sports.
Madden's my least
might be
favorite
wrong.
sports game.
No, ESPN. EA Sports. Okay, yeah. So
they have
EA
Madden,
Sports, the game.
FIFA.
Yeah,
They have
yeah,
Madden,
that,
FIFA, and
I lied.
stepping in basketball. Add baseball. They have ball or two.
MLB The Show's awful. Actually, that's my least favorite. The show used to be Biggs. The show, or no,
MLB
no,
The
no, show
has
Big.
gotten better over.
Biggs used to be the shit because the like Biggs, it was just overpowered everything. So like if you hit the ball, it was like a home. Everyone just it was just over the top baseball because they were like, baseball sucks. Let's make a game that's actually fun.
Backyard Baseball, 2006.
Them hoes are fun.
Is that the Wii?
No, it was on computer.
That
Oh
was
yeah,
fun,
It's
too.
on
the
computer.
Wii baseball
Okay,
did
let
go
me
hard.
ask you guys a question. What video game has affected you philosophically the most? Like a video, like movies can make you think about things.
Yeah, like
musical may. What video game has made you think about things?
Got it. Balloons Tower Defense.
Really?
Hey, that
Now,
game
That's a
fucking did-
curveball.
Strategies.
That,
You
hey,
just
that had
gotta-
a,
Okay, fair enough.
that's not my answer, but that did have a big impact on my childhood.
Yeah, I was thinking a more broad scope.
All right, let's be honest. Balloons Tower Defense, you're telling me that didn't have a huge fucking.
I didn't play it.
Kidding.
Oh no, I was playing. What do you call it? Thing.
I
Did you guys ever play
I
that?
don't think so.
It was
Fuck
on,
no.
It was on Flash Player. It was like an action game. I mean, it was brutal. It was terrible.
I don't think
I was in like junior high. It was probably like 6th grade when this game was out on computer, and you could get on it because it was on FlashPlayer.com. And so I don't know if y'all remember that FlashPlayer.com. I don't know if y'all or
We had
Yugo
the cool
Player
math
or Yugo
games
Player.
and-
It was it changed names because there was like it was just like super violent. But it was this game where it was a side scroller and it was super simple animation. But whenever you shot people, it just saw the whole got them and shit. And you could just get automatic guns and like like all this crazy stuff.
What?
Yeah, my teacher caught me playing it one time, and
Pretty
then
awesome.
like I
How's your
came back.
parents?
He was like, "Go sit outside." So I sat outside the class. And I'll never forget this. Everybody was telling me that he was playing the game while I was sitting outside. I was like,
That's
"You
awesome.
motherfucker!" Yeah. I bet you if you Googled imaged it, you would see
I
the
used to
most
play-
thing.
I used to play stick
Game.
figures games a lot. I forgot there was a website I used to go to. I can't remember.
Oh,
it was
yeah.
all stick figure
I'm telling you,
games,
it's
so-
probably Flash
You're a
Player.
thing.
No, it wasn't.
Thing Arena is one of them. That is just
What is it?
shooting people. The other ones have stories, but that's just fucking mass combat.
Remember, dude, there was games like that on there too. It was like stick figures. Those games were the best though.
Oh,
The
yeah.
mechanics of those games at the time.
Boom, told you. There's no one that didn't play this game. No
Oh.
one did not play this game.
Oh, I've played this.
But you've never fucking played Balloon Tower Defense?
It was like a thing when we were
Show
younger.
me. Have I not played it? Nah.
Dude, it was the
No,
shit.
I did.
It was the shit. I played all of them. There was like Thing 1, 2, 3, Arena. Yeah. Yeah, it was fucking storyline and shit. Bro, you're just a mass murderer in that, you know?
You know what? I think thinking
Video
about
game,
stuff like
everybody.
that, just like time periods. I think there's just so like the time period that we're in right now. There's just so much. It's so convoluted with shit. It's hard to find really just like back then. It was just people were just creating, throwing shit out there,
Yeah.
right? And we were just like,
Oh, we
Hell
were eating
yeah.
it up because nobody was supervising the internet.
And no one gave
That's
a
true. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
and no one gave a fuck. We were just on random websites, bro, finding shit.
That's what I'm saying. We were also like, I feel like arm's reach of someone that like how to code and is on. There was a bunch
There was
of those.
websites. There was like a website called eBombs World. There was another.
Oh, E-Bombs World.
There was one called Funny Junk I used to go to all the time, and there were websites just like unfiltered, just random shit, just all over the videos. You could buy gag gifts. So I'm like, why is this all in one place? This doesn't make sense. But now you have like capital. You have things like YouTube, which are corporations and shit.
Yeah,
Like,
but now they're so big that they have to be regulated
it's fucking
because
rough,
they're
yeah.
responsible for all the information they put out. So they kind of have to like be, careful and watch out for.
Back then, dude, like I always say,
It was the Wild West.
I say that shit all
Yeah,
the time.
dude, it was
really
internet
was.
Wild West. It was the Wild West of the web for sure.
Dude,
like
it was the
absolutely.
fucking shit though. But because like you think about all those games where all like, yeah, we played that. Even in school, like type shit, like they had like fucking what was it, Cool Math? Y'all remember? I don't know if you.
Oh
ever
yeah,
played
yeah,
Cool
for
Math
sure.
game.
Cool Math.
Fucking
for sure.
Mighty Guy and shit, dude.
like cool math game.
You ever played Mighty Guy?
Yeah.
Or like there's the penguin one that you would play. Like if you look at a screen of Cool Math right now, you'd be like, come on, fucking blowing my mind right now.
What was your video game though? You never
The
said.
video game that fucking.
Made you think about shit.
Fuck, I gotta think about like all the games I really like fucking played. Honestly, I don't think there was a big one, but one game that just I'd say like meant a lot. I don't know though. Nah, when I finished Portal, that one kind of made me think a little bit. But like, if I had to
Oh,
really
the cake is a lie.
what?
The cake is a lie. That's in Portal.
Is that a game?
Was it-
Oh.
And there's all these little secret rooms you find in Portal where you like walk into the wall and you're in
That
that
is
little,
true.
it's like a little survival room
Yeah,
that
yeah.
somebody there had been before you, and it always has a little thing referring to the cake.
You're right.
But originally it starts out as
Cake
a
is
girl, a
damn-
picture of a girl, and then it's the girl with cake over her face. Then it's just the cake as you go through the game. And then the robot voice, when you get to the really far into the game, they're like, there will be cake at the party at the end of the completion of your
That
testing.
is true, yeah.
And then you get there, and it's like, when the final room you get to is like, the cake is a lie, the cake is a lie, the cake is a lie. And then you get there, and it's this big robot kill you. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's pretty deep. That is a deep one.
But like I would say like the game that like really meant a lot to me was it was weird. It wasn't even like it was a simple game. It was a simple like it wasn't even role playing. It's called Champions of Norath. You basically like you would go and you would like you ever played Lord of the Rings? You ever played any of those games?
Lord of the Rings.
Okay, but you played the games, right?
Yes.
So it was around it was way back when though. Like they're not like the evolved versions of the Lord of the Rings games. But essentially, you'd pick up mana, you'd pick up items, you'd go around and you would fight orcs and different stuff, and you would just go and you could have up to 4 players that would play, and I would just that game, the storyline and everything. But I just loved that game so much. It was just like the complexity of that game at the time period. It was what year was I playing that? I was probably in 2007.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think 2007. Like mechanics of games were not-
Shit.
Yeah, for the most part.
Or better, because they were more simple. Did
But
you
the
ever play
complexity-
Knights of the Old Republic? Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic? Or Knights of the Old Republic
I
2?
played that one. I had that on my place.
Well, I don't know. It depends on when they were.
Yeah, so that game though, like the mechanics of it for the time, even thinking back to it now, I want to find that game and play it again because it just like. Also, I used to play with my stepdad all the time. That was like the game we would always play, and it would just. I don't know, man. It was such a fun game, and the storyline was pretty good. And honestly, even the cutscenes and the graphics were always really good because you were trying to like. It was like you were basically not knights. That's the wrong word, but like trying to get to like and help this princess
Yeah.
out and like do this whole mission and shit.
First
You're
one
going through like
out
all
in
the shit.
2000.
On PlayStation
then-
1 and on Xbox?
2011.
Oh, that's an MMO. Like World of Warcraft. They came out with. First 2 were on Xbox, and
It was a
yeah, it's just original
That one in
Xbox.
2004.
Amazing game. To this day,
Fire.
one of my favorite games of all. I have it on my PC. I play through it.
I decided to do one on some. Also, none of that got picked up by. Okay, because I love it here.
You're gonna be a gamer. You're gonna be a PC gamer. No
I'll
time.
do it. I'll do it for you.
Not gonna lie. I want to get better at creating content though. I do love I just love create. Honestly, creating anything is fucking awesome. Like art in general, like just going back thinking about like I was talking about games and just like those moments in time. Like you don't realize it. A lot of those people don't realize time. They're just like, especially back then, they're creating games just because we don't know what the fuck we're doing. We're like, this is new shit.
We're on a different level here.
Yeah, so they're making it, and it's fucking, it's games that we remember that we hold dear to us, and it's just like, also just music back then, now we look back and you think Nickelback, and you think, oh,
That is not what I would think. I would never.
I love
think
Nickelback. I love Nickelback. He's like, not me.
I would never.
We've lived very different lives, dude.
We need a hero to save us. I'm not going to, dude. It was the Spider-Man 2.
Oh yeah, and then Peter Parker on the green screen in the music video, fucking swinging by.
Spider-Man 2 soundtrack.
Shooting his webs.
Fucking, you like, I'm 6 feet from the edge, and I'm thinking, like, nowadays that's not sliding at all. But like, that was a timepiece, and I appreciate it for the time.
That's
that it
fair.
came.
That's fair.
I
I like Deftones, so I'm pretty sure they were on the Blade soundtrack. So.
With arms wide open.
Okay, that's Creed.
Yeah, but like it's same shit. It's not like it's the same shit.
It's
Okay,
same
but
era,
Creed is a
not-
little bit more respectable.
I don't
I
know,
think.
dude. It's
What's the
it's
difference?
dad. It's all dad rock.
Will you take me high? That's the difference.
He said,
That's-
respect the difference.
One is a Christian band. No, I'm just kidding.
There,
Yeah,
that might
Creed
be
is
it.
more of a Christian band than
They really
Nickelback.
are. I didn't even know that for the,
If you think of it,
longest time.
I mean,
We
Nickelback
all want to
not
be
a-
big rock stars. Come on, bro.
is Nickelback not a Christian band? Oh, not.
Wait.
Um,
Oh, I hope not, man.
Like think about like you had
Our
Three
boy
Doors.
Jesus gets too much. Sorry. Sorry, guys.
You had
Hey,
you,
Zeus, you've had your day.
That's what I'm saying,
think
dude.
about this. You had Nelly and Tim McGraw do a song together. If that doesn't say anything,
Morgan Wallen and Lil Durk just.
yeah. But this, but
right?
I feel like that.
Oh,
it-
yeah, there's rap country, right? Country rap country.
Yeah, yeah. Like Morgan Wallen
That's
kind of
'cause
changed the
of,
game, but like.
That's terrible.
I mean, like, did you not just
Oh.
hear what I said? There was Nelly and Tim McGraw on a track.
But was
that
like,
passed over?
I
Over
I've
and
been-
over again. It's all in my head. I think about it over and over again. Come on, bro.
got Billy Ray Cyrus.
That's worse than Tim McGraw. Billy Ray Cyrus is definitely worse than Tim McGraw. You're not a country. I'm not either, but
He was really
We had
good
to
in
compare
Hannah.
them.
I like Sturgill Simpson. I think he's pretty good. You guys ever heard of him?
I've heard of him because of the podcast.
Oh, I forgot he was on there. He was on there. Yeah, no, he's like Johnny Cash though. Like super similar to like Johnny Cash.
like
type
old
of
school.
think like
Western. I don't know. I've heard it called Western rather than country. Like it's
Okay.
like it's a little bit more of a like rugged. I don't want to say like I would say rock attitude,
you
not rock
kick in the
sound.
saloon
but a
door,
rock
and this is the first thing
attitude.
you hear.
That's
yeah,
what I was
maybe.
gonna say.
It's,
'cause
a, it's
I-
a more serious, dark attitude rather than like
It gives
you
me
know,
more
she
rock
thinks my
vibes.
tractor's sexy. You know, some dumb shit like that.
I mean, dude, they have their own lifestyle. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I mean, is that what their lifestyle is? Do you think that's what the farmers are thinking every time they get off their tractor? They're like, "Glad I get to go home and fuck my wife. Who
Are they
thinks
like-
I'm sexy because
They're like, my wife's a
drive a
lucky
tractor."
gal. Look
Yeah.
at this big old horse I'm driving.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
to
Look,
John Deere."
you're saying you're saying that, but honestly,
this buck I got on my lawn.
I'm not gonna lie. I think it'd be a simpler life if I was fucking Bobby Boucher driving around on
If
a
you were fucking Bobby Boucher,
no, not fucking.
you would be having a simpler life if you were fucking Bobby Boucher. That's
That's true.
about
But
that.
If I was Bobby Boucher though, riding around
You'd
on a
be
tractor,
hydrated, dude.
riding around on a tractor,
Mhm.
picking up chicks, that would be a simpler life, dude. Thinking about it, you pull up on a tractor like, damn, what is that? Like a four cylinder?
Ooh, baby, what's up?
Yeah,
Hop on.
probably more like a 2. Yeah, more like a 2.
Not on this one, dude. I'm riding that high speed tractor,
I got that 15 horsepower. What's up, mama?
All right. Now that we're all a little loose, let me ask you guys a question.
And
All right.
another question.
All right.
What's the deepest
Yes.
video game?
Hey, I just wanna- can I say
It's
this?
a little bit. Yeah.
Questions are the root of all conversation. Okay, that's it.
Full circle.
Shout out Winton. I just wanted.
Yep.
I was for Winton. All right, go ahead.
Cheers, Winton. In
He's
spirit.
here in
Yeah,
spirit.
you're in spirit.
Okay. All right. Check it out. Spy balloons.
Okay.
Are they UFOs?
It depends on like
Is
what you
that-
define a UFO as. I guess
UAP.
What?
probably.
What is you? What the fuck did you say?
So
Well, so
apparently,
not like an
a
alien
UFO
device
is
or
like a
anything.
really vague term.
Yeah, it's just
But apparently,
unidentified.
like the saucers, like that whole thing when you're thinking of aliens is actually
But even
Unidentified
UAP,
alien.
aerial phenomena.
Oh,
yeah,
fuck.
you would. But that's what I'm saying.
Keyword being phenomena, I guess. I don't
Even
know.
We
the
just-
phenomena isn't.
That's true. Yeah.
I mean, so
Well, I
like, and
think-
it's in the
Yeah,
air.
yeah.
Just
So
another-
I mean, like, it could be categorized as that even on it. So theoretically speaking, I don't think it.
Well, all the spying
America's
is
spying on
done
them.
with cell phones now, right?
Well, that too. But I mean,
Right?
beyond that,
I
I
mean,
like,
like,
once to
yeah, I
With
feel
this
like,
podcast.
but I feel like a lot of stuff made in America is.
America is
I'm
lot
not
of-
saying I believe in UFOs, but I do think a part that's weird is like all the spying that happens now is just because they own half of this,
so
and it's like
if
you
it
know what I
was
mean?
a Chinese spy balloon, all they're trying to do is just
What do they
get
need
a
to
look
spy
on their property.
Yeah, they don't need. That's my thing. They don't need the balloon. They just need your phone. Your phone tells them about your property.
But what I'm saying
'Cause
is,
they
we're
got
China
access to the
though.
GPS. And all.
China owns a fair share of our land.
Oh, they own-
basically
yeah.
we're in debt to them.
That
our
was my point.
clothes.
Yeah.
So it's like what is like what? Yeah, what at what point
They're
is
just
it?
they're just supposed to look over their.
Yeah, that seems to me that seems unrealistic.
I mean, same.
You know
I'm
what I
Being
mean?
silly.
Like-
That's what. Yeah, that's a
Yeah,
fair.
no, I feel you, but really though, like I mean, there's satellites. You know how many satellites are
But
in
the
space
thing is,
right
like,
Space is fake.
it's tough.
now?
Earth is flat, dude.
Yeah. Oh my god, dude. You know what? I was okay. So,
But do you? Okay, look. I know
let's
this.
get into it. Let's get into it.
So I know, like, flat Earth might be a stretch, but think about this. What about? How do you feel about the hollow Earth? Like, it's a sphere.
It's
We've-
like
we've
it's
just
like
brought up
okay,
three
it's like
different theories.
it's like
All-
slightly more believable because space is obviously real. It's very obvious.
I mean that.
I could see more
Talking about hollow Earth,
delusion.
NASA,
I
a
could
company
see-
that profits
Oh,
off of you
whatever.
believing in that. No.
It says fucking a balloon that you can put a camera on and just release it.
but you've
and
never
it'll
been to
go
space, so
high
how
enough.
do you know?
Oh, shut up!
Tapped by the
Come on, for real.
You know.
Yeah.
I don't need
That's
to
a
go
simulation,
to space.
dude.
Come on. Okay, but the simulation couldn't include outside planets.
What if it didn't?
I mean, what if that's beyond the
I don't know,
code
what
that
if
we?
it didn't?
What if that's
I
beyond
know
the
they're
code?
there, but what if it didn't? I don't know.
What if
If
it?
it did,
Huh?
but on the satellite end, I mean, do you really like think so? Lower.
I don't think.
looking-
Oh no! I mean, I believe it would be a balloon. I just don't see any point because most of the
Oh, yeah.
stuff that goes.
Spy balloon is
Like they pretty much
unlikely.
own your phone. You know,
I
they
mean-
own a big portion of Apple. I mean, they
See,
own
what I
a big
was gonna
portion
say,
of the
though-
software. Which, like TikTok, the terms
that
and
makes sense.
service of TikTok is crazy.
Okay, I have
I
two
got-
things. I was just like,
No, it's okay.
okay.
I do have a point for the flat Earth. Don't let
fair.
me forget. I had a point for the flat Earth.
For the
thing.
I said Hollow Earth though.
No, yes, yeah. But it kind of has to do with both still.
All right, so I was gonna say one. I think the whole spy balloon thing. It's like the news is just more so like it's like a fear factor type of thing. I mean, it's just like whenever people are
think it's
like,
trying to
Russian
entice
aircrafts
conflict.
over American territory,
which
right?
we've always been in their territory. Like,
But the thing is, Russia and Alaska
yeah,
are right there. So I mean,
China and Alaska.
when they're in the area, when Russia aircrafts are in the area, it's just they're next to Alaska.
Well, people forget that we even like we as a like the American Air Force call it routinely. We routinely invade other people's airspace.
Yeah.
It's a daily thing that we do. So like where they're not doing it to us.
Yeah. So I mean, it's just like one of those things where it's just we'll type something up to just make.
No, I think I think it's an
using-
escalation of conflict. I think that's what they're trying to do.
happening. Hitting that.
Dude, I saw
But I
something.
wouldn't even guarantee that we know it's happening. Like I still like I mean yes, okay, maybe it is, maybe it isn't, but that's not my point. My point is that this is such an intense and heavy conflict that's been going on. Is that really a big problem in all comparison? Like I think it escalates emotions, but
yeah.
when you look
see
at
what
it
you're
from a perspective, like when you back up and look at it objectively, it's like, well, that's not really something to worry about because they really do own so much of the land here, and they own the Comcast satellites, and they own the, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think a balloon is necessary for them. They already have all that.
Likely wouldn't be the first time. Intelligence could simply be, fuck it. Like,
Yeah, let's go.
they're invading our airspace. Fuck it. Why a fucking balloon over
Yeah,
there?
Who,
I mean,
who
but,
let that information
that-
out?
but even that is predicated.
Why did we fire $1 million missile at it?
My
Multi-million
thing
dollar
is
missile.
like,
We did
That's how we brought it down.
put it this way. It's like, couldn't it be?
for a spy balloon.
Exactly.
Put it this way. Like, how
Fair.
hard would it be
That's exactly what it is.
in just a billion?
Yeah. Well, it's like the oldest thing. We've been using those since World War II.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like it's not like that's a very strange side to do. Off of our-
I think we're.
Maybe they thought they could get it.
Nah,
Or
but
like they haven't seen.
Yeah, but it just
No.
seems like a weird.
this is
risk.
what I was gonna
Yeah,
say.
they haven't seen it. Throw him a curveball.
You know what I mean? Bring out a play that was last used in 1934.
Yeah.
Get a touchdown.
This is where they're least expected.
Yeah.
What I was gonna say with the data thing though, just like in general, I say this all the time. I think people don't get. It's like how when you get the advertisements on your phone, you know what I mean, and like it's reading my mind.
Targeted advertisement.
It's reading my. It's like
Well,
no.
it's listening to you.
Well, I mean, yeah, but that's not why. So like, there's a thing. So AI. I mean, even then, now it's getting to a point where it's like, oh, okay, it's crazy. But like, even then, it's just like when you we sell our data. That's part of the, like even the terms and conditions. Our data is getting sold, and then
Yes.
with AI right now, it's basically just creating like a second version of you. So when it's just like,
Yeah.
so basically they
Everything
already
you Google, everything you watch,
exactly everything's being stored.
everything you choose to watch, they're accumulating the other people that have also selected that video and what you have in common with them. They're adding those commonalities like a whatever chart.
A Venn diagram.
Yeah,
But
Venn
what-
diagram. They're using that middle section. They're like, okay, well, not only did they pick this, so we can use information that they picked this,
Well-
but also they have these things similar to this person, so they're more likely to pick.
Yes. No, but what I'm saying is even with AI, so basically like they're creating a artificial version of you as well. So like it's like what would you be thinking about in this moment based off of everything that you've
Digital.
they have a digital basically stored version of you pretty much at this point. And they're
I mean,
able to kind of like pinpoint what you would want. That's why some ads you're like, I don't really what the fuck I would because it's not going to be like 100%. But basically, like, there's like multiple articles talking about how like AI and like our data is at a point to where we're just it's almost
Melding.
identical version of
Yeah.
what we are in like
We're nearing this.
that's
I mean,
kind of where it's
Oh man, I heard a commercial on the way over here. I was listening to 94.5 and I was listening to this commercial where one of the hosts, I can't remember, I think her name's Dana, one of the 94.5 girls was
That's right. Dana
was-
sounds like a radio.
she was talking about that there's a company that now is making I
Is
don't
it
know
Teresa?
to what it might be Teresa. I don't remember. No, that is one of the that's one of the girls is Teresa.
Okay.
945 the book.
But she was
Come
talking about
on, I
that there
don't
is a
listen to
company
radio
that
shows.
is selling flying cars, and they are like for practical use. Now, to what degree that they actually fly, I'm not sure. I'm sure it's a very low, maybe a
Yeah, you're
hover,
not fucking.
but they're worth a few $100,000. So basically, one car is worth a house,
Yeah,
like a decent house.
more than decent.
Yes.
You want to buy a house? Or do you want to buy a fly? Honestly, if I had to choose
Think
between a
about
house and
that,
flying
though.
car,
There's also a company that
I'd
came
choose a
out
house.
during the World Economic Forum, and
Because they're all.
oh yeah, I know. Yeah. Don't even get into that. But this company that makes it's basically like headphones, and they read your brain waves, right? And this is not like some woo woo crazy conspiracy stuff. This is like a presentation they did at the World Economic Forum, and it's this company that basically they can read if you're paying attention to work or not. It's like super vague, like red light, green light, right? But they basically they can tell if you're diverting your attention from your work, and basically they like reward you and send messages like when you concentrate job, keep doing this. Look, this is where your
Okay.
level is at. And at the end of it, she's like, now I know this sounds like something that might be, unrealistic and way off in the future. And she's like, but what if I told you there's more companies that, and then there is. And you could,
Hate to be an employee
Dude,
at
that
that
is-
company.
that is
what
the-
the fuck?
that's like, I'm sure that it would never pass most companies. I don't think a lot of companies would actually employ that, at least in our lifetime.
Until
Maybe
they
it'll
see the
become
fucking
more normal.
efficiency
Yeah.
charts and they're like, dude,
But
how much money
yeah,
can we
yeah,
fucking
yeah.
make off of our employees?
But I think that'll take at least like another lifetime for us, or maybe half,
Well, you'd
because
hope.
things
You
escalate
fucking
as
hope.
time goes on, right? But I don't think that'll. But it's scary that there's even a few companies that are using it, because it's like, it really is just making you the most efficient, like, little robot.
Not even.
I hate saying that. It sounds like such conspiracy. Not, and I don't want to underplay how real
It
of a
almost-
thing it is.
not dismiss.
Well, it sounds
it-
crazy.
It
Like,
diminishes.
It really sounds.
An individual. Verbal.
I would say that's been a long time coming. I think we've been there for a hot minute.
Positive.
Well, and negative.
Constant. Or only.
The way she was putting it was that she was like, oh, so you're working at your desk and you look over at your coworker and you remember how attractive you think she is, and that you kind of want to ask her on a date whenever work gets off. Then you get called into your supervisor's office. They're telling you, and then she runs like a whole example on it.
PowerPoint.
Yeah, PowerPoint presentation. And she's like, right, and then by the end of it, and she's like, and tells you in the board, and hey, starts playing your favorite song that it has decided is your favorite song after you finish a quota that you've been trying to reach for so many days, and you get a boost in serotonin because it's your favorite song, and it's just really strange.
What is that?
Very strange. A company that did a presentation at the World Economic Forum, and it's basically, they're not implants or anything. It's just it's like headphones that you wear, and it reads your brain waves. And basically, when you're concentrating, it will reward you by playing that favorite song once you've reached like a certain quota of whatever. And the way she puts it, as an example, is like, you know, you're working hard, and you look over at your coworker, and you're thinking about how attractive she is, and the fact that you're thinking you might ask her on a date whenever you get off work. And then it reminds you that you're not paying attention, and to, you know what I mean?
Yeah, fuck that.
And she says, now I know this sounds way off in the future, and it sounds unrealistic. And she's like, well, what if I told you 3 companies are already using it? So it's already like I don't want to underplay it as some type of conspiracy because it's a very real thing, and it's just very, I don't think
like
in our lifetime it's gonna be like
dystopian.
normalized or anything like that. It's very dystopian. But it's interesting to think about that. That's a thing right now in general. It
Yeah.
might not be the average. It might not be the normal. It might not be the normal anytime soon. But all it takes is a foot in the
See,
door.
but they tell you that there's no implant, but what they don't tell you is that when you put the earphones in, there's nanobots and nanotechnology going into your brain, and then it surgically inserts itself
Whoa.
and
Creates
creates
a chip, dude.
Whoa.
I'm just saying, you might want to look into
That's a
these
lot.
companies,
That seems like a
find
lot.
out how their employees are doing.
That seems like a lot.
Well, I mean, in general, I think
No, I think the implant will be voluntary. They'll be like, look, you don't even
Oh,
have
yeah.
to open your phone. You put this in your brain.
oh no, it's just like
All the porn is right to your eyes.
I think it'll be voluntary to like a certain demographic. I don't think it'll be voluntary to
The
that many.
demographic will grow.
yeah, that's just facts.
That's fair.
The thing is also, I mean, in general, it's just like one
I
of
don't
the
wanna be
biggest
one of the
reasons
first
I hate.
adopters.
Oh no, one of the biggest reasons I hate capitalism. I mean, it just leads to more. It's like what's going to lead us to more productivity in terms of revenue, and what can we do to cause more of that?
But revenue, okay. What is your alternative to capitalism?
Poo poo in your pants.
Basically. No, really though. I actually came out into this episode. I wanted to ask you guys a bunch of questions. So, what
glad I was
would
prepared for
be
this.
your alternative to capitalism?
Honestly, I've thought about it because I feel like people always ask
Communism.
that. Oh, dude, communism, socialism. Socialism would be the better choice, but the only reason neither of those would ever work is because government also, in this sense, is just fucking.
Can we
Well,
just
they're
like
always assholes. Like,
Government's ass.
Yeah.
Can we-
if
Anyone
you
who's
get,
trying to
like,
control
one
what you
good
do.
person in the best case scenario, you get one good person, and then as soon as they're dead, it's fucked.
Why don't we just take the best parts of all the isms and just make a new one?
That's probably what's gonna need to happen.
Oh, well, that's the only thing. I mean, there has to be something new because it's always we're always like, well, it's like, well, dude, we've already tried all this shit. It all sucks. Let's-
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Something-
'Cause I mean,
I mean, we do get better though, but the only thing
there are
like,
good parts of
No,
capitalism.
what I'm saying.
all bad.
100%. It's. I mean, it's the driving force. It has been the driving force since. I mean,
Just like
since
I feel
the
like
dawn of time. Like capitalism's the oldest one.
I feel like there's
You know what I
good
mean?
parts of every.
Ism. I mean,
Alright,
there's
even
just
if it wasn't
it's
called
it's
that.
kind of like the execution of that becomes bad type shit. You
I
know?
mean, like
that make
you gotta
sense?
think like the first guy that was like, oh, I can cut wood and I can give it to people because they don't want to cut wood.
right.
Boom, capitalism was invented.
Right.
Well,
You know what I
well,
mean?
not
It's
really.
the
That's just
oldest-
exchanging.
Not
Capitalism isn't
But-
just exchanging
but-
two
but
things.
to its
Not
base.
necessarily,
If you bring
yeah.
it down to its base.
Well, that's everything
and
down
its
to its
core.
base.
No, because like communism would not be that way.
Communism.
Communism,
I,
if you
I
bring it
cut
down
wood
to
and
its
you
base,
need wood, and since we
I have to give it to
I
you.
this
no
is
matter
now
what.
our wood, even though I cut it.
Oh, that's.
You know what I
right,
mean?
and you didn't have to do anything for it because. Maybe
But that was
you-
before
maybe you can't
capitalism.
cut wood.
That was like,
You know
yeah,
what
I
I
guess
mean?
that was the start of what
But you're
create like
supported
before.
with wood,
See-
even if you can't cut it. That's
Because
the
there are
positive.
but
That would be the positive to communism.
because there are situations where there's like disabled people that can't cut their own wood in that situation. You know what I mean? So like, should that person just never have wood in their life? You
But
know
this
what I
is
mean?
my thought process.
No fire.
No, never be able to get warm
This is my
because they
thought.
were born
Born with a disability. Like,
Yeah.
Exactly.
That doesn't
That would be
seem
a
right.
positive.
You know what I mean?
This is my thought process. But this is where it's all fucked.
Creating histories and worlds.
We're not. So look, the thing is, it's only things like that can only work so much with a certain amount of people. The larger it gets, the harder it gets, right?
That's true.
And the thing is, like, realistically, it's the only way that really like the combination of any of those things are gonna work is if we have smaller, like, which we have what, like,
Yes.
so like we have like
Anarchy.
state by state type of things,
We
right?
need city by city.
Well, to a degree.
At least
county by
County, I'd say
At
county
least
by
county
county.
by county.
Okay, county by county would be more reasonable.
but it would have to be with completely fluid borders.
But this is where I'm at. This is where I'm at. When it comes to resources and bargaining and shit, people are greedy. So then, I mean, war, like, historically, war is inevitable. Power-hungry people are inevitable, right? So people are going to come up and be like, we need this, and especially when there's droughts and shit like that happen and fucking natural disasters. That's when shit starts to come into play. And that's why we have become this industrial thing that we have become all over, you know, like bigger countries and everything. And that's why war originally had become a thing, you know what I mean? Is fucking dominance over resources. Not like why it exists.
Yeah, true. Yeah,
dominance over resources and like
resources are the thing. Right?
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. So it's like war now at this point is kind of like we don't necessarily need it. We could come to a better agreement, but it's also that sense of power and having the ability to have control over something. It's built up to that point, which it's always at the base been kind of that. But it's a different monster than it is now. So becoming that smaller thing would be nearly impossible.
I hate not to sound cheesy. I hate the word impossible.
Fair.
I think it is
What
possible.
about implausible?
You like that word?
Where I'm at is
I think it's automatically a negative connotation to something that if you have a positive mindset towards is much more likely to make it happen. I mean, like when you haven't like. The reason I don't like communism is because there's always got to be someone at the top, right?
Yeah.
That's a system. There
yeah.
has to be somebody running the system and making
that's
sure.
flawed.
When it is one person, maybe you get one good person, fair enough. But eventually, it will get overrun by people that have their own interests in common.
Yeah.
I mean, here's
just
the
like
problem.
hold on, just like capitalism could, but capitalism has a little bit more float room, where somebody could always invent something that everybody else wants, and that dynamic can change very easily. Whereas communism, it's much more difficult to change that dynamic because you could invent something, but your space of movement, your space of elevation is not as big.
But the thing is,
Right.
in
You are
communist
not going
countries, there's still
anywhere
rich
because-
people. And
But
how does
those
that make
people-
sense?
Yes,
Because it's-
exactly.
But those
Exactly.
people, but that's
And people
ancestry.
think
That's
it-
like
People like pass down things like, you know what I mean?
Well,
Like,
it's ancestry. It's manipulation.
a lot
it's
of
stepping
I
on
think
people's
what
faces,
I think you saying that is actually proving his
politics.
point a little bit.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Because,
That's
like-
what I was saying. Is
because like I think what it is that like whenever you are born in like with money, you have money. But if you're not born into a good situation, you don't have the ability to pull yourself out.
Oh, you
of
can't.
That
Yeah,
situation.
no, it's
you are
in-
stuck in that. And I think really what it is that like the main problem is no matter what system it is, no matter if you're talking about capitalism, communism, it is the problem with the people at the top that necessarily do kind of wade the waters and kind of lean the system one way or the other in their favor, obviously. Because I think whenever you do look at all these systems, they do have like good like properties within them, but
Of course, they
the
do.
ability
They
to
wouldn't be no one would believe them
Right.
if they didn't have
it's
something. I mean, think about Scientology. You're
Yeah.
gonna act like it has no positives. Of course it does. Otherwise, nobody would follow.
I mean,
it.
it's
I mean,
just,
it's any
it's
religion,
basically
too.
Yeah,
I
on
mean,
the same concept.
Scientology
Right.
is more like a fraternity style
I
thing,
get that
to
example because it's a
connection,
very obvious
connection based
negative.
type of thing.
Yeah, it's a very obviously a cult.
and it's
But if
clearly
it
made up
didn't
by-
make sense to you, to people a little bit on a general sense, then people would not be followers of it.
Yes, but also to like just play a little bit of devil's advocate to that. A lot of people are just looking for community, and they don't necessarily need to believe in everything wholeheartedly to be a
But
follower
community is
of
a
that.
positive, right?
That's fair.
Yeah, I
That's
think
true.
that's
but
what I'm
saying is that a lot of people will just jump on a ship because they want to be next to people rather than
And that's my
figuring
point.
I
out
think it's a
what that
romantic
ship is or where
point
it's
of
going.
revolution.
I think if we actually played into the community factor a lot more, that's where I was going with it. It's like the smaller community a lot more, we'd actually be able to like work within each other a lot more to help each other out and build.
But the difficulty with
You
that
hope.
is that like the most examples that we have of that are these
Cults where you end up seeing people just get manipulated.
But also historically speaking, is all yeah.
Or
by the millions.
end up like
Or
fucking
people taking
some random
advantage of
dude.
just the situation and
exactly.
end up like it's
Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying like America hasn't done bad, but
America
you gotta
has.
think like what, like okay, do y'all know what the Chinese Cultural Revolution is?
no.
sure.
That was whenever they decided there was certain parts of even physics and science and you name it, part of education that was considered reactionist mentality, which was anti-communism and pro-capitalism. And so basically they were going to these universities. I mean, they were, if you disagreed with their philosophy, they would put a dunce cap on you and parade you in the street, or parade you in the classroom and everyone would throw things at you, or you would lose your job, or they would execute you. Or public embarrassment, or they would straight up kill you, or they would kill a lot of people, and it was a lot of teachers, because there was a lot of even science stuff that they're like, that's that's a reactionist state of mind, which was basically
like
capitalist
communism
state of mind. And so they literally, they killed like a few million people because of that, and that was in the 60s. That just happened in the 60s. And then Russia did a very similar situation, right? And then they brought down the whatever wall. What was that?
Not the Great Wall of China.
No, Russia.
Damn, I don't know what was that called?
Mr.
Shelby.
Gorbachev, bring down this wall.
Shelby, what wall did they bring down in Russia? Maybe she'll know. Definitely not. Does not know the history. It's okay.
Yeah, it's fine. Our Russian.
Was there a wall? Wait, what was the question?
The wall, 1980 something. They brought down the wall.
Not
the Berlin Wall. Yeah.
That was in Germany.
That was in
That's
Germany.
in
Yeah, that was in
Germany.
Germany. Sorry.
Oh, what the fuck?
Sorry.
That's why I
He
was
said
like, what the fuck?
Russia.
Yes, I did.
It's his dumb ass.
I was like,
It's Gorbachev.
I was like, I know the fucking Great Wall of China, I know the Berlin Wall. If there's a Russian wall, I didn't catch that history lesson.
Sorry.
Hey, you're getting the dunce cap now and get paraded around, you fucking asshole.
But during the Soviet Union, they killed millions and millions of people too, for not agreeing with them.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, and I know we've done as Americans, we've started proxy wars, and we've had coups. We've orchestrated coups in other countries, like
Well, we've also-
Our own.
Iraq
also
in
got
the
a-
1950s.
We've also got an outstanding kill rate on some drone strikes. So,
Thank you, Obama.
yeah, he was killing it, dude. He's
Literally.
Steph Curry.
But
of
do you
drone
ever think,
strikes.
when is our time? Do you think COVID was our time?
What do you mean our
What do you mean
time?
our time?
Like when that shit's
Our time to
Like our big
shine,
thing?
or
like when we're getting attacked. Like we're like, yeah, dude, we've attacked all these, and it's like when the bombs start
No, I
hitting.
think COVID was probably, I wouldn't.
not to get
I
too
wouldn't
conspiratorial.
postulate that like we did it, but I wouldn't be surprised if we found out we did it.
I wouldn't be surprised if every country, like major country, just kind of had a green light on it.
It was like,
spread,
you know what?
what I
It's
mean?
about time.
I said,
to lower
I'd accept the tinfoil hat that was placed upon my head, but early on in the fucking pandemic, I thought it was a big population control type of thing. It's like,
I'm not
I
a
know.
doctor. I think there's like an outrageous, like stupid amount of coincidences
yeah,
that go on around the whole situation. I don't want to say I know anything because I know I'll just make myself look stupid.
here's the problem: the fucking actual doctors don't know shit. That didn't know what the fuck they were talking about either. Like there's
There's a lot of
going,
stuff coming out now,
going back and
like-
forth and back and forth
Did y'all-
on whether masks worked, on whether the vaccine was
And now
necessary.
yeah,
Like all the fucking people that do have medical degrees couldn't make their fucking mind up.
And
So
the
how
general consensus
what are we
that
supposed
the
to do?
vaccine's like 20% effective, I think, is the general consensus now.
It's 100% effective at not being effective.
Because there's so many variants. Did either of y'all ever watch Thrive? I think I showed it to you, right? Like one of the have you ever seen Thrive? Did you ever see Zeitgeist?
I did. It was creepy.
Moving forward, yeah. So like Thrive is kind of yeah. No, Zeitgeist moving forward was like it was like the second. It was
moving forward.
it was like the second one.
All those are. I liked it at first, and then I kind of kept watching them, and I was like, oh, this is really scary. Like they're like brainwashed. They're like, you're gonna own nothing, and you're gonna love it.
Oh no,
It's
that's
like,
not. That's not. Is that?
That was the
Zeitgeist?
Zeitgeist that I was watching.
Yeah,
for
that's
sure.
That's
100%.
Zeitgeist?
Yeah.
I thought that
It
was
very
something else.
sketchy. It was very
Thrive. Anyways, Thrive was kind of a basis off of that, but it was like talking about just like essentially. We were watching this back before COVID too. It was like talking about like brainwashing and mind control. It was talking about like how they're probably gonna do a big virus that's gonna break out and they're gonna try to like control you with fear. And then like a year later, we were like, what the fuck?
But that's been a conspiracy for a long time. There's also a 1980s book that predicted it, and it literally said it was going to come from Wuhan. It literally said there was a virus that was going to come from Wuhan, and it was going to be called the Wuhan virus.
Is
Which
that
it was a little bit called the
what
Wuhan
book
virus.
was that?
I'd have to go back and look at it, but it
He's
was
like-
an old book from the 1980s. But my point is not that the book was right. My point is
No,
that
I mean, the
a lot
book
of
was
people
fucking
were-
right.
A lot of people were saying that kind of stuff, though.
I
No,
mean,
yeah,
So
that-
the odds that somebody was going to be right was pretty.
No,
high.
what you're saying is like, is it a lot of people are saying that stuff, or like people had info on what was gonna happen, and it's just something
That does give me like the
I mean, it's a classic story if you think about it. I mean, right?
What, now that we just
I mean,
happened,
think about-
maybe.
Well, think about all the zombie movies that have come out. Everything. I mean, think about the story that has happened. If you were to lay it out in a movie format,
Don't even
It's
gotta
a
go to
pretty-
zombies.
It's not like it's a fresh.
But
story.
Thrive
There's-
wasn't about
there's
zombies. Thrive was about
Contagion.
control. Thrive was about like
Yeah, not
control.
that.
But he's
like,
saying
yeah,
there's a
no,
lot of
just the idea that if they predicted it, it's like it's not. I mean,
Contagion.
anyone would have predicted it.
I Am
because
Legend.
It's been a thing
Fucking,
that America's been obsessed with for a long time.
There's a lot of movies where like there's a big disease that breaks out, people start reacting crazy, they either
Yeah.
turn crazy. What's the one where The Happening, where people start killing themselves?
Oh, the crazies. Too.
well, the
yeah.
happening
where
was
they
about
start
like, yeah,
putting each
natural,
other-
like a natural.
Man, okay. Can I get on a trip moment with you guys?
Yes, but I do want you to find your way back to whatever flat Earth and shit.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
what
yeah.
I was. That's what I was trying to
Okay,
get on.
bet.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
what I was trying to
sick.
get on. Okay, and this is also kind of like a. I don't want to say which is an emotional moment. I'm going to get ready for this because it's kind of deep.
Yeah, dude, if you're sucking dick right now, take that cock out.
I was on a few grams of mushrooms. This is before I took the LSD.
Oh, yeah,
and
this
the
is-
mushrooms the day after. So this is the day before.
So this
where I
was how long
warming
ago?
Up to the weekend.
How many days ago? was this?
prepping your stuff.
This was on Friday. This was
Let's
this
go.
past Friday. What's
So-
today? Today's Tuesday.
Today is
So-
Tuesday. We don't know when this is coming out, so this past Friday from when we're recording this.
Yes.
Yes.
So it was like the 12th, maybe, or something like that, or 11th. So I had taken a bunch of mushrooms to start the weekend off on a Friday night. after
Legal
I got
mushrooms.
work.
I don't know.
Organically grown anywhere that there is cow patties.
Fungus.
Yeah.
It was very
mycelia.
Mycelia.
Some
Mycelium.
psilocybin. Some psilocybin prominent mycelia. And I was on the beach and I was looking at the moon and I had thought about this before and I've thought about it a couple times, but I've never brought it up to anybody because I usually lose the thought before I can bring it up to anyone. But I was looking at the moon and I was tripping really hard and it was in the middle of the night. We were on the beach. There was no one around, so there was no ambient light. So it was very dark other than the reflection of the moon on the beach and the moon itself. And I was kind of like talking to my friends. We were having a great conversation. And I was telling Keegan, I was like, man, imagine, and this is something that really strikes me because I think it really sucks. Like, I really mean this on a deep level. Imagine being a flat earther and looking up at the moon and thinking that that's not real. Like, that's, well, that it is real in some sense. I don't really know what they get out of it. But that we haven't been there. It's not a wondrous, almost like a monument to our civilization or to our planet. It's not that like it is to anyone that believes that the moon is really out there as a moon, as a planet that revolves around us. You know
I
what
mean, personally, I believe
I
it's
mean,
there, but
it
like
makes-
to say that,
Yeah,
I mean,
well,
who
it's
knows
just-
though?
It's super
We don't.
depressing to me. Like, that's so sad to think
I do
that that's not
I
real.
see what
like,
you're
like when I look up at it, it makes me. It get like I mean, not to be over dramatic, but it's something that gives me hope. I mean, it's so grand. It's this whole thing that's another planet that revolves around our planet and sustains our life. It creates tide. You know what I mean? Like there's high tide and low tide. I mean, it creates it makes life possible on Earth. It's super sad to me when
So
I think
you've
of
been
people that are
told.
like space isn't real. There's nothing out there, and just give up on that.
Well, there's also
That way.
there's also like a lot of signs. Well, they say they don't know for sure if like there's a lot of science that says that the moon does affect high tide and low tide, but there's also a lot of science trying to say we don't know for sure. That's kind of like just a thing that people say.
Who says that?
There's like they can look it up.
Science.
I would need to know.
No, where I'm at though is that like
My old neighbor, my grandparents' old neighbor was an astronaut, so just to see the passion of him talking about it, I'd have to see where people, like that's the other thing. It's like I'm like imagine being an astronaut and people are like, yeah, it's not real, it's all a fucking conspiracy, and it's like seeing the passion in this person's eyes while they talk about what they did. And then you just go up to them and be like, no, you
I was
didn't.
wrong. I was
But,
wrong.
like-
Lie. That's a conspiracy. You
But
didn't
like,
do that.
what if he didn't and he's a paid actor?
I really could not find it in my heart.
Selling the role. I'm kidding.
I mean,
I don't want to
well,
get
I'm trying to give it its due, but it's like that would. I mean, just to see.
You're
you
Truman
have to
right
look
now.
them in the eyes
So
and
my
let
dad-
them tell you what they have to tell you, and then be like, nope.
Both of my
You
parents
won't.
work. Both of my
You
parents
just
work for
won't.
NASA. Both of my parents work for NASA, and I've had the conversation with my dad about like, do you think we've been to the moon? Like, where's your thought process? And he's fully convinced. I mean, like,
Not when they said we did, but later. or what?
no, he's fully convinced. But like, basically, in his story, he was telling me is this like, whenever I hear people tell me that they haven't been to the moon, it was kind of like your story kind of reminded me. He's like, I get like deeply saddened, not because that they're wrong or because that they're not looking at it from the right way or anything to do with what I've done. I think that it's really just sad because that this person, whether you're gonna call them smart, dumb, stupid, or whatever you want to say about things, like this is a person. This person has a
They're
fully
not dumb.
this
They're
person
just
has
as smart as you are.
a
They just
fully
believe something
formed
different.
brain, but they've been miseducated to the point that they actually believe in this being their reality. So it's like there is no like in his mind it's like there's no argument because it's like you can either take what the information that is laid before you. No, you weren't there whenever the moon
Very
landing
easy
happened.
argument.
You weren't there, buddy, so you could say that all this
could.
information is all fake and that it's all staged. But that would be a choice on your part. It's not necessarily that all of this information is fake. It's you are deciding that it is. That doesn't have any effect on anyone else's reality other than just yours.
Yeah.
So relatively, he was like telling me about how sad it is. But in my mind, I was like, but like, what if they got your ass too?
But they fucking got you. So you would say that.
They want you to think that's what
I mean,
you.
it just makes me sad. 'Cause
So-
it's like
so
there's
the-
so much. I mean, it adds to the wonder of my life more that there's grandeur things out there like that.
So-
you know?
What else? I mean, you were telling me that you saw the fucking.
But hold on, wait,
Universe.
before we get there.
Oh yeah.
Before we get there, do we want to ridicule the Hollow Earth at all?
I mean, I won't.
Because I mean, like,
I mean, we've
'Cause-
dug into the earth and we have so much like.
Are there
a
layers? Are
volcano.
there? Is it possible? Well, the whole thing is it possible if there is a hollow Earth for civilizations to live within that?
Well,
That's the whole thing.
Yeah,
That's
but
the biggest
if
part of the
they're-
theory.
If they
I feel like
evolved,
but that's what I'm saying. To get to that one, you're taking a huge leap of like, is it fucking hollow? And then
We
is
don't
it
know
also
shit about the Earth.
is it also
That's-
inhabitable?
The core. We don't know. We know there's a core, but it's like what are the levels between the rest of that? We don't fucking know.
Are you saying like how thick is the crust?
I would imagine.
The crust is the outside, motherfucker. I'm talking about the inside.
So there's right
The-
under the
the
crust.
mantle.
There's the
Mantle.
mantle. That's
Mantle.
fucking hot as
The
shit
mantle.
too, dog. Like,
Yeah, but they're lizard people, bro.
Come on, motherfucker. Idiot.
They're cockroaches, dude.
But like, it's just really though. You think about it, it's like we don't know what's in between all that. There could be things that
I got
live in
no-
there that can withstand certain fucking.
I would be more willing
orcs.
to
The
believe.
orcs live down there with the cyclopses, you motherfuckers.
I would be more willing to believe in like some type of super deep ocean theory than a hollow Earth.
But there's
mean like
there's
mermaids
the
and
theory
stuff?
that the deep ocean leads
I
to
guess
this.
I don't know.
Or what do you mean?
That, I mean,
Have
just
you
like
not-
advanced life under the ocean.
I will say I do really enjoy Graham Hancock's work. So
He's
I
sick.
do really enjoy Graham Hancock's work. So no, I don't believe in mermaids. I don't believe in any type of like alternate human being.
Yeah, they probably wouldn't.
It
It wouldn't be that. They'd be something.
They wouldn't look like us because
No.
they have a completely different like
I don't know what they would look like.
habitat environment.
I
If
feel
they did
weird
exist.
making presumptions on that like level. I don't know what they would look like. Maybe they look exactly like us.
But
I have
not-
no idea.
but first of all,
Maybe we
dolphins
haven't
are just
even
as
been
smart
here
as
that
us.
long.
Dude,
Honestly, maybe
Yeah.
we really haven't.
Dolphins?
I have no idea. I don't even like thinking about that stuff. I've
I-
got a buddy that thinks about that stuff a lot and thinks about
I
life
go into
after
the-
death, and I'm just like, I don't know where to put
There's
I
that.
go
people
into
that
the-
think the ocean
on
leads
the-
to space.
On the thought process of that, wait, what?
If you go deep enough down in the ocean, it leads to space. People
Oh,
think
but
that.
that's the flat Earth theory, right? Isn't it? Because
Well,
it's
because
like that
you'll-
would say that
You'll
you're
puncture the floor.
here.
Obviously.
So the only like so if you're on like it's like a disc. I think the flat Earth like
No,
is,
it's
like,
no, it's
technically
a
like
dome.
a disc.
It's a
Right?
dome.
Well, it's a disc. Like the land is like a disc almost
Also,
with
one
a
thing
dome.
is,
like,
do you know
over
the
it.
Antarctic wall theory too?
They
It's
call
be-
it the firmament.
beyond.
Yeah, you fall off the Earth.
No,
Yeah.
no. Beyond the Antarctic wall, there's more like there's green, like more vast land that no one can,
So like even more Earth.
that no one is allowed to go.
That would be amazing. Now that.
But the
would
thing
be-
is-
that would almost make sense though, wouldn't it?
They
Because
don't
we
allow you
thought
to
the
go there though.
ocean-
They don't want anyone to go there. There's like multiple militaries from every country that like take turns.
So they
basically.
What if
all
that's
found
where
one-
heaven's
They
at?
all found one reason to work together.
What if that's where heaven's
Wow,
at?
and that was it.
It's in Antarctica.
And that was it. It was Antarctica. We can't agree on fucking Ukraine, but Antarctica.
But like if your boats go to a certain point, they'll be like, no, you have to go back. Like
Yeah,
you
you
can't.
gotta
Like
turn
and
back.
if you take a plane, like they're basically like you're not allowed in this area. Like it's a mutual
No, I
ground.
think they probably just test horrible things there.
You think so?
That feels like a
Mutual
Truman
ground.
Show type of
But
thing.
then people
Where else would you
say.
test horrible
But there's
things?
supposedly there was some guy way back when, like one of the first people, like he was from America too, and
That- does
he
that
got
not-
honors and shit. Man, I wish I could remember his name.
Does that not feel like a Truman Show type of thing?
But
It's
he
like,
went past the
You get a bunch of information that you can't go. You can't go out of town. You know, Truman. You
And
should
that's
stay.
because
You
they're
should
trying
stay
to
in
control
town.
you.
You know what I mean? Like
That does sound like Truman Show.
you,
Yeah,
then
like
you
if
go to the Antarctic wall and you're like, oh shit, there's a door here. You know what I mean?
basically,
Like-
oh shit, there's way more. Like there's other shit out here.
Right, just on a weird episode of Office Space or something.
Yeah, they're like holding us back from like what's really out there. Like we're like all we're all just really contained from like what's beyond the other
We're all
side.
just a version of
Or-
Jim Carrey.
I mean, isn't that? I mean,
But no, supposedly like that guy said there was a bunch. He said there was a bunch of thriving life over there and like fucking things that like we haven't even seen on
he
this
was
side.
fucking things that we haven't seen on this side.
I love that this is becoming a thing.
Just like
the fucking.
I would hope so. Maybe he's fucking dinosaurs on the other side. That'd be sick.
Well, let's hope he's not fucking kids, bro.
Dude, yeah. That'd be the brightest. No hot Cheeto predators over there.
No hot Cheeto predators
All right,
here,
I know
my
this is
friend.
aside from
No
the.
HCPs around this.
I'm
town,
not gonna
you know?
lie. I gotta say this. So it was funny. So like, Shelby had brought me chicken because her family had cooked
Shout out to Shelby.
chicken. Yeah, and she brought me like a little to-go container. So I had it next. It was like on the stand, and Wayne had came to visit us at work or whatever. So he was sitting on the couch, and he's like, "Bro, you can't leave a chicken around a black man."
Why?
That's
Wait, Winton said that?
yeah. Winton said that.
Where were y'all at?
We were at Whiskey Cake, but then when I was like, yeah, Winton, no longer the hot Cheeto predator. You're now the hot chicken predator.
That's fucking tough. Hey, is it okay if I go to the bathroom before I tell you about this crazy trip story?
Do what you need to do, brother.
Yeah, honestly, we could take a piss break. Cause I gotta take a piss.
Let's
again.
take a piss break.
Take five.
Take five.
Take that.
All right, let me finish this Google search. What is flat earthers' opinion on the moon? The first link says, "Are flat earthers being serious?"
Hey, dude, I'm here. I didn't go anywhere. It's crazy. You could see me the whole time.
Are they for real though? Being a good cow. Get on the cow. Oh, dude, what are you watching?
supporter.
Is this World War Z?
BB.
Oh yeah.
Dude, #1 supporter.
This is another one we were just talking about. Like, there's a bunch of movies that have come out in the past like 10 years that
Dude,
are
what
about
is-
like a disease that like
Jesus.
breaks out and people start like acting crazy.
Yeah. I'll show you acting crazy.
That's not Brad Pitt.
Wait, hold on. You guys should sound crazy.
That's really big, dude.
Okay, this is life size, right? You need coals ready? Hold on. Let me fucking.
Wow. That's great, baby.
Brother, it's March 14th.
Not anymore.
Fuck.
That's not my fault.
He's got me. Sorry. He's got Kevin.
Little baby boy dick.
Where's Steve?
Wait, do y'all have a box?
A box? Yeah.
Little baby boy. This reminds me of something Stephen G would say.
Baby boy
Little
dick.
Baby boy dick.
Bro, I thought you were really gonna have a joint when I walked in here.
I have a. Do you want to smoke?
I will.
I mean, you're much obliged. I'd be happy to let you smoke, dude. I didn't know if you
I
were
just
smoking
kind
right now.
of saw it coming, and then it didn't happen, and then I was like, "Whoa, this is weird."
So I'm not gonna lie, I had a mental thought in my head. I was like, does Cole smoke? Because every time that I've smoked around you, I've walked into that session already fucking high as shit.
So you were like, "I'm just gonna smoke another one."
So my memory is fucked from all of those sessions. Okay, I will give you one. I thought there was one right there.
No, you're good.
Okay, so I'm just gonna tell you the statue I was gonna get you guys for your table.
Oh, so it's a statue, eh?
Yes, it's a Thoth statue.
A what?
Thoth, like the Egyptian god.
Goff?
Thoth.
Thoth.
Yeah.
Thoth. I heard Goff.
Oh, yeah. No. Thoth.
Got you.
And he's like the god of knowledge and writing
Dude, hell yeah.
and wisdom. I was gonna get you guys one of those for the table.
What was it?
Thoth, like the Egyptian god of writing and wisdom.
Is that
Knowledge.
the one with the beak?
I was thinking about it, and I was like, oh, that'd be so appropriate, and I feel like I need to get them something.
Is that the one with the beak?
You don't have to, but that'd be fucking awesome.
Yes,
Yeah.
in one of his forms, yeah.
Honestly, I'd hold on to that. Honestly, I feel like anything anyone ever gets us,
Do you
if
have
I
a
hold on to
different
it,
charger?
onto here, it literally holds power. It's just like the
Oh.
culmination of everything we've ever done and everybody we've
Oh.
hung out with. And the power
This
of
is
God.
Culmination
I
of
stole some
everyone
tape.
we've ever met.
We hold your soul.
Well, I mean,
I
the
know
thing
the
is,
point.
I don't know where you would put it because it's kind of big.
No, we figured it out.
You know what I mean? It's like,
And we're gonna eventually update our studio too.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It's
I mean,
like
I
right
don't give a
here.
fuck. I'd move some of this shit out of the way for that. Fucking Garfield, I got it at a fucking thrift store. Fucking fuck.
So I don't know if you guys want to talk about it, but I've been reading the Anton LaVey's Bible of Satan,
Yeah, I mean, why wouldn't it?
the Satanic Bible.
I mean, but that's
Basically?
it's satanic. Like the thing is, I mean,
Well, there's the Temple of Satan
which is
and
like
the
best-
Church of Satan.
The
which
Church-
are two separate
The
things.
Church of
Smoke a
Satan
joint
is
or a bowl?
actually
Joint?
That's fine.
the Church of Satan is actually like they're actually like good people. What they're supposed to be.
Well, I mean, I think they're both probably just normalized people. They're
Yeah,
just-
so-
one's a little more edgy than the other one.
So my coworker is part of the Church of Satan. He just signed up and he got the certificate.
Really? Okay, so is that the Temple of Satan or the Church of Satan?
Church of Satan.
So the Temple of Satan is the one that's like more geared in a segment of Christianity. Whereas the Church of Satan, as far as I understand
It's
it,
anti-religion.
is basically atheists.
Yeah.
Pretty much. And they're just kind of
That's the one he's at. Your church.
evaluating this seven sins and kind of putting them on a more plausible level of like
Yeah, it is.
like okay, wrath, like somebody does something bad to you and you react out of anger. It's like, is there a degree where you probably should act out of anger?
Have you ever heard of fucking Wiccan? Like being a
Of
Wiccan,
course. Yeah,
Wiccan,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
like
I've
all that
got
stuff.
some friends.
Who are Wiccans?
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's kind of like that, you know. I mean, that's
Is it? I never thought of them as similar.
Church of Satan and Wiccan.
I thought Wiccan was.
Wiccans and
They
witches,
believe in magic, though, right?
but
And,
not in the sense that
with
you're
magic with a
thinking.
K.
Well, no. We've had this conversation
Yes,
before. Magic.
we
is
did,
in
but
the,
like-
the Sanskrit illusion and.
Well, no,
illusion
not that magic.
Okay, so they believe in like a literal
like the way that they believe in magic
Pulling rabbits out of hats.
isn't. Yes, no, but
Really?
no, not that. He's fucking around.
sorry.
This guy
I'm
doesn't know
being
how to take
silly.
shit serious.
Okay, I was gonna say I thought they were more like the vibration level of magic.
They're
and
they're
frequency.
more so like the right, like words hold a lot of power, writing holds a lot of power.
Can I give you an example of magic?
Yeah.
On a realistic level
Yeah.
that I believe.
Yeah.
So I don't know if y'all have ever read the Kabbalion.
I have not.
So that's Hermetic philosophy, which we can get into if you guys want to. But one of the laws of Hermetic philosophy would be as above, so below.
Yeah,
Right? So you see
Wiccan's
that a
that's
lot.
actually one of the biggest parts of
So the way,
Wicca's
the
the
way
religion.
that a
Yeah.
Kabbalionist or like someone of that nature would look at it is the way y'all brought up before. Do you really believe there's satellites that can see this? And I'm like, yes, because there's microscopes that can see this.
Right.
As above, so below. It is an infinite level
Get
that
close.
expands in both directions.
Mm.
Right? So we could look at that on any any microcosm of life. You name it. Like pick one.
You're like above the mic, so it's like you got
Like this.
at least there we go.
This is better.
Yeah.
But
Pick one.
yeah.
What?
Pick an aspect of life, like something general, not too specific, but
Fashion.
fashion.
I don't know. That's
So the
probably a
cosmetic
hard
of
one, sorry.
the cosmetic of appearance that could go probably as above as well as below.
I know what you mean though. It to the sense of like basically like as
I
like the
didn't help you there.
it's the okay like in the science in the science
No, no,
aspect
no,
it'd be the
it's-
macrocosm is
It's
into
a
the
little more vague than that though.
so the macrocosm is as the microcosm. You
Yes,
know what I mean? To the
exactly.
smallest things.
It
it's the
basically is just a never-ending expansion of the same thing. It's
Thing.
layers echoing upon themselves.
It's just like create. I mean, that's like how
The
people.
macrocosm is made up of the microcosm.
It makes me think of creationism. It's the same thing. It's just like a cycle, like how we view like God or whatever. It's just like everything is kind of like it's a macrocosm of a microcosm. There's
Have
something.
you ever read about like nihilism and the
Yeah.
philosophy of nihilism?
No, I
It's
personally.
super depressing, and I don't really like reading about
I mean,
it.
it's nihilism.
But I
would
did
imagine.
like one thing
It's
that I
tough to
read
get
about it.
through.
It is tough to. It's tough to get through, and I don't really. I mean, personally, like on a personal level, I just don't really like it because it is so negative to me. But at the end, it kind of comes out in this positive
Yeah,
light,
I mean, like
which is cool.
the negativity in it. I think that it's really only negative because you have other beliefs. You know what I mean? Like if that was what you believed, because of like how it rounds out, you probably wouldn't see any of it as negative.
Yeah.
But since you do tend to like say like this isn't for me, then that might be what the negative is.
I mean,
for
it's
you.
the more of the sense of
Does that make
like
sense?
if
Yeah,
okay.
if there's no meaning of life, everything that you give meaning is the
Well,
meaning,
One
right?
of the things would be like so boredom. I can't remember what his name is, but he's like this 18th century philosopher. And one of his points was that boredom. So basically, all of life, we exist together as a unit, which is like a lot of forms of philosophy, right? But this one is saying there's not really particularly a point to it other than existence itself. So the point of existence is to exist. And boredom is basically reality understanding that it is pointless. And you are just kind of a node. Like you're just like an experience piece that can experience different things, right? Almost like a tentacle has what do you call it?
Suction cups.
Yeah,
That's all I can
what
think
are
of. The
those
suction cups. I don't know what the suction cups
Are
are.
they
That's
not
all.
called suction cups?
Yeah, whatever. But they occupy feel things out like that, right? And basically, like what they're suggesting is that the human body is like one of these nodes to experience things, and that whenever you're bored, it's not just you being bored; it's experience and reality being bored of itself. And like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
You, the nerve,
If we
of
are
the body,
it's
the
kinda
node,
like-
is experiencing the pointlessness of what you're experiencing.
Right. It's kind of like if we
But
are
as a
the
greater whole.
If we are the universe experiencing itself, then there are going to be points in time where that becomes pointless.
Well, it's redundant, right?
Yeah.
Especially if the whole point of the universe existing is for it to experience itself,
I mean, that kind of
right?
goes.
Which is consciousness, right? Like the whole point of consciousness is to be conscious of the fact that being conscious is pointless.
To a degree.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that would be nihilism,
But like that,
which
yeah.
I don't agree with.
Well, yeah. I mean, yes and no. I mean, it kind of goes into like. There's a lot of. The thing is about like life in general. Every theory kind of plays into like to something else. It's like we come up with all these fucking ideas and theories. It's like you gotta pick and choose. You gotta fit everything together because there's a little bit of real to everything, but like not everything's 100%. That makes sense.
I mean, I don't even like. So to me, that's like a very strange way to put things because, where do we start the percentages? What is 0%? What's 100%?
That's fair.
You know what I mean?
Isn't that-
That's like a
And
very,
isn't that doesn't that differ with every single person based on your perception?
Also, this is
You know
random.
what I mean? Like with the things that you perceive and the things that I perceive, we could be seeing the same thing and see it in two different ways. So theoretically speaking, that thing being whatever percent real is only that much percent to the eye of the beholder type.
But
shit.
back it up a little bit and look at it from a third person point of view, as though you're not looking at it from a person's point of view. So no, your observations might be different observations, but you're looking at the same mirror from different angles, right?
It's like
so
telling-
the mirror is
Say that
show-
again.
you
Hold
know,
on.
So imagine you're on the left side of a mirror and another person is on the right side of the mirror. You both look into the mirror, right? Like inward at
Right.
a point of reference being the mirror. You look inward towards the mirror. You are looking at two completely different things when you look in the mirror, right? But now back it up to a third person perspective. That mirror is showing everything that is in front of it, whether you're looking at it from over here or scanning across and everything you're looking at over here. It's showing all of those. It's just showing them at different reference points,
Right.
where the individual person is standing.
Right.
So that at that point just becomes a matter of perspective, but broadened to a much more generic sense,
Right.
because the mirror could show anything and everything as long as it's pointing in that direction.
Mm-hmm.
And you put anyone in any point where that mirror, in front of that mirror, left or right, in a rainbow around the mirror is showing everything that each one of them is seeing. It's just showing it specifically to one person according to their reference point.
Right.
So back up your perception of reality and how there's so many of us and we are looking at things from different percentages, like we were saying. But it doesn't really matter because if you back it up to a third person point of view, we're all looking at the same mirror. So the one truth is truth. You see what I'm saying?
I
We've
see
had it.
where you're coming.
I've literally had this as a topic on the podcast. It's like that, like what absolute truth is. Like what is absolute truth? actually?
Infinity.
Right.
It's infinity, right?
Like
I mean,
the
that's
ab-
only
like
thing
like
it
the,
could
the whole
be.
idea of absolute truth and like what absolute truth would actually mean, because it's like to every, it's essentially what you're saying is like the perspective based, like you look at the mirror, but then in third person perspective, right?
I mean,
but
our
then you could-
perspectives are infinite.
And that's what I was gonna say is like you're looking at it in that sense, right? And then you said there's a third person perspective looking at it for all the sense, but then if you were to back that out, you know what I mean? Someone's
It's a
looking.
web.
That person's looking at this, but then this person's looking at that. Look, essentially, it's like, what's an absolute truth?
now let
Truth
me
is
throw a-
truth, but what is the absolute truth?
Now, let me
in that,
throw
in
a wrench
essentially
in your
the-
engine real quick and say, in that same scenario, would it be applicable to say like someone's controlling what the mirror is showing?
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Okay.
So you could say that.
Right.
So if I were to tell you what is an absolute truth, and
We're talking about Play-Doh here. We're going back to fucking the classic.
I mean, I would love to
fucking-
play with some. What
No,
color do you
what I'm
have?
talking. We're going back to the classic Play-Doh. The fucking.
Yeah. So check this out. So
What
if
is it?
you're asking me what an
Yeah.
absolute truth is, if I went to my
Something of the cave.
Yeah, the allegory of the cave.
That one.
if I went to my most basic of senses, I could say, okay, as an absolute truth, I know color is real, right?
Dude, I
That's
was gonna
not
bring that
necessarily
up earlier.
true. Because what if somebody is controlling? What if we live in a? What if we live in a simulation?
Yeah.
color technically doesn't have to be real in that.
Color's fabricated
Exactly.
for the simulation.
For our experience in the simulation.
I know, but he's repeating what I'm saying, so it's okay.
Right. So I can't really say color is a definite truth because there is a possibility that our reality is being controlled by someone else, and that is a sensation that they have created for us to experience.
Yeah.
But what an absolute truth would be is I can tell you that experience is an absolute truth. Sensation itself is an absolute truth. Because they could have artificially created the sensation, but we have to be able to sense.
That's fair. Okay.
So that would be
Because
an absolute. That would be an absolute.
I didn't really think of it in that way. Because when we talked about it, I had the concept of like what is an absolute truth, based on like perspective, and giving our perspectives. You know what I mean? Because it's like it's kind of hard to base anything off of anything, especially in this day and age where we all think things like we're misled on a lot of things. It's like what is an absolute truth when it comes to that? But the fact of the matter is, yes, that is the truth. When you explain it that way, but the fact of the matter is, what that. But the thing is just like, with that being said, it's hard. It's hard because everyone just wants to be right and no one wants to be wrong. But the fact of the matter is, we all are both consistently.
Nobody's right because nobody has any information that they're basing their opinion.
That's kind of like we all have an not equal amount, but like to a degree we only have so much information given.
We have an
you know
insane amount of faith in all of the things that we call information.
But also, I just wanted to say, octopuses have 8 arms and they're covered in 2,240 suction cups each, and each suction cup has more taste receptors than a human tongue. Yeah,
That is wild. Yeah. You know, have you ever seen?
Throw that out there.
Have you ever seen a video of an octopus dreaming?
No.
It is wild because you know they can change their skin.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
But they don't do it. So a lizard does it. They do it chemically or hormonally. So they send hormones throughout their body to their skin or to the tissue in their skin.
The skin
so
cells.
it takes a second. Like they get scared, and it takes a second for them to change color to their surrounding. An octopus does not do it hormonally. It does it in nerves. It does it
neurally. Right.
Yeah, so
it's a neural connection.
As fast as you feel pain is as fast as an octopus changes color.
That's insane.
Yeah.
But that goes back to what I was also saying. It's like when you were like earlier when y'all were talking about the ocean.
Is pain an absolute truth?
No.
Yeah, there's different fields, but like the ocean.
We're just being literal. We're just like no.
I'm having fun.
The ocean though is like there's dolphins and fucking octopi in the ocean.
Dolphins' brains.
Have you ever seen a dolphin?
Did you not?
What?
Dolphins' brains are bigger than ours.
They're smarter than us.
Yeah.
But octopi are also smarter than us too, though.
I would assume. I haven't looked.
I don't know.
I haven't looked up into the brain of an octopi.
I don't know what the studies are on that. They have abilities that we don't have, but I don't know if they're technically smarter.
That's fair.
It would be interesting. Okay, so
but that's my point. My point
smart.
being is just that when we think of smart beings under the ocean, the further you go down, we don't know what they're gonna look like.
Oh,
because there's dolphins and fucking.
No, we have. It's like a nightmare zone. Have you ever seen like pictures and videos of these?
Like the animals.
What is it? Fluorescent.
You talking about the fucking fish with the light on his head?
Yeah,
the Finding Nemo fish, the scary
basically
one.
any fish that lights that.
Everyone watching this is like, I don't know either, but yes, that's the fucking one. That's the
seen that one, motherfucker. I know that fish.
Just
keep swimming. Just keep swimming.
You guys, when you take, I know y'all asked me about this last time I was on here, but like when y'all take like a massive amount of psychedelics, I mean, do you guys feel like you are perceiving something more or just different than the way that you normally perceive it? Like, would you feel like you're perceiving?
I've used the word.
I want to say an extra.
I've used the word
enhanced.
I've used the word enhanced before.
I'll give you.
I've felt more an awareness that's a little bit different, but it doesn't feel like it's separate, if that makes sense. It does feel
It should,
connected
right,
to like my actual, like the reality that I normally feel, but it does feel like more of like a more aware and enhanced version of that, with also some deeper thoughts and maybe some visuals from it.
All right, I'm gonna give my experience,
Yeah.
but then after this, I want you to give me your last
Okay.
experience. So this is mine. It was like, okay, the most I ever took was 3 tabs. I took 3 tabs to the face. And I was like, I want to explore
To
my
the face.
yeah. I was like, I want to.
Right in his face hole.
It was to the dome also, not just to the face. My dome piece took a hefty yeah. So I was like, let me take 3. I want to experience it because like the most I'd ever really taken was probably like
Let me take 3.
I'll take 3, sir.
I've taken 2 at the most before that, and that was intense. But I was like, I want to take 3. I really want to explore my brain for a second. You know, I want to see what's going on. So I was in my bedroom. I took 3, and I would say it was a combination of like more and also enhanced type of thing. Like there was a point where I was sitting there, and I was looking at myself sitting on the ground, looking at myself standing up on the other side. I was seeing all like I was.
out of body experience.
Dude, it was almost an out of body, but I was seeing myself in every position, looking at myself in every position. That makes sense.
That is interesting.
It was insane.
That is very.
But I saw the flower of life in everything, and everything was like purple and pink almost, like purplish. And I saw it embedded it across the, like, you know, it's weird because people say they see all, and before that I had never really seen it.
Yeah.
Like, I had taken acid and shrooms a few times, you know what I mean? And like, I had never seen any of that. You know, you watch videos and you hear like,
You just have to reach a certain point.
yeah, and you hear people talk about it, but like I finally saw
To experience it.
But I felt comfort. It was weird. I felt comfort in the fact that I knew everything was gonna be okay, and I felt a comfort in the fact that like I'm on the right path, and that I kind of understood, and more than a sense of it being more of like a directional thing where it's like I know exactly what I have to do. It was more like a settling factor of knowing I'm gonna be okay with who I am, and like also knowing like this is like what life was. It was a feeling more than it was like a how do I put it? Like, so you know how you think of things sometimes. I'm doing a terrible job at like putting it into words because it's
I
hard.
don't know if it is able to
Put in words. Because those things, it was
Isn't
just
it
like it was just an overwhelming feeling that it knew, rather than it being like something that hit my brain. I was like, I know what I need to do. You know what I
Isn't
mean?
it wild that it's like that, like that there really is no way to explain it, like because like so many people
it
do.
requires those
so
extra
many
feelings which
so
have
many-
no words.
Exactly. So many people have psychedelic experiences, and you have that like normal understanding that it's very difficult for people to bring back what they saw, learned, or felt during that moment with them into their reality, like going forward. Like maybe that night or the next day, you're kind of acting on it, but it's difficult past that to like completely remember what you were feeling and the lessons you were learning during that time.
The best way to put it was like if there was a God, I felt a blanket put over my body, and like somebody whisper in my ear, everything's gonna be okay.
Right.
Even though it might not have been a bad thing, it felt like that. If
I
that
have a
was
story for that.
like, it almost like felt like someone said that. Like it wasn't, you know. Of course, there was no one like, you know what I mean? But
See,
it,
but
it
what's
was
crazy
but it
about
was
that
like
is-
almost to that extent, like where maybe someone was, but it was like a blanket. Like I felt it over my body, and then at the same time, it was like it's gonna be okay. And then it was like almost a release at that moment, and like I just knew, like I saw all the patterns, I felt everything. Like I was going through, I was listening to some music at the time too. It's like certain songs were just coming on that like also just like, yeah, because it was on a shuffle.
Right.
I didn't have a playlist. It was like the songs that were playing like somehow matched perfectly, and it was just fucking nuts. And I was like in my own bubble.
Like the
I had come
synchronicity.
out of the room at one point, and it was them, and I was like, no, they were claymation. They were fucking claymation. I was like,
He saw us as claymation. I was like, damn, I want some of that.
and I was like, no. And like I was like, dude, no, because I heard a noise, dude. Like I heard a noise, and when they came back, I was like, it was gone. I was like, they think I'm just tripping, but I fucking heard it. It was nuts. But like that shit, like that's what it felt like. It was just like to a point to where like I kind of understood finally in that moment who I was. And honestly, from that point forward, everything kind of
Did you
got better.
understand
Weirdly
it,
enough,
or did you start to be more just okay with it?
I think that's kind of like a both. You know what I mean? I became more okay with it because I finally did understand. Like I had, it was something I always knew and something that was always there.
There's a
That makes
part
sense.
of you. I think there's the part of you that you want yourself to be, and that I think probably has a lot to do with the way you were raised and your expectations and wanting to meet those expectations, or wanting to intentionally not meet those expectations. You know what I mean? And but my thing with the vocabulary of it and being able to bring words to it that other people that have not done it and you want them to experience it. Great CBD.
The best.
If this really if whenever you are tripping, if you really are, theoretically off on the bat here, experiencing some other level of reality. I mean, our vocabulary is made for a certain mindset. So if you're experiencing a different mindset, then why would there be a form of vocabulary that fit it? That wouldn't really make sense.
That's a fair
You know
way
what I
to
mean?
put it. Yeah, that's a fair
So
point.
I don't really think there is a way. I mean, why should we be able to tell people what it feels like? Like why would that be appropriate?
I think that's a good point because I was gonna say like I think a part of the reason, and maybe this is something that like maybe can't even be proved, and this is just something that I believe in. I think a part of the reason it's so hard to explain is because like there is maybe a hidden force in our reality, like actually guiding people's conversations. Like, have you ever heard someone say something to you and it's just like, I really needed to hear that right now? Like, how did you know to say that? Like, have you ever had a moment like that, like where you felt in the moment, like
vibration?
Hear me out, but I honestly think that the universe speaks to people.
Exactly.
Consistently,
So,
constantly.
What
God,
do you
universe,
think-
whatever
what
you
do you
may.
think the universe is?
It's all of us. I mean, we are the universe.
So you believe in oneism?
so hold on.
It's like
hold
the egg
on.
theory. I don't know if you.
Before we get too deep into
sense.
these
Well, is it
separate
oneism
things.
that we all are technically right now one being separated by our bodies, so that we don't experience consciousness unified like we should. And
Yeah,
that we're
yeah.
separated by these bodily.
Have you heard of the egg
meat
theory?
sacks.
Have you heard of the egg theory?
I'm assuming that it is.
It's
oneism.
like we're all God,
It's
essentially.
relatively.
Yeah.
We're all God.
okay.
Yeah,
So
it's the
it's
same
one-
thing.
It's oneism.
Yeah.
And that's why they say, in Christianity, they say, oh, God is within you and within you, and it's within all of us, and it's within me. and
Like I
it's
said,
within
this
everything.
is it's
because
a,
God is technically experience and just perception, and it is consciousness.
it is all of us. Yeah,
I
together.
mean, so like,
Oneism.
even in the story,
But the
of-
thing is, like, do you think we could evolve eventually? Sorry.
I
Evolve.
think when we evolve, it would just be separating the meat sacks that separate us.
Exactly, and all coming together
Yeah,
as
be
one
taking that
collective
away.
consciousness. Do you think that'd be the?
It's possible. I wouldn't put all my eggs in that basket. No,
Fair.
No pun intended.
I think the real question is it
Okay.
possible? Like, if we
Didn't
all
you have a story? Wasn't there a story?
fuck yeah, I do. Okay, so fuck that. Fuck what I was about to say. But my story is that like hearing you say what you just said about your crazy trip is insane because I mean I've heard it before, but it just connects in my mind to one of like the craziest trips I've had. It did feel like a security blanket came over me as like some force was basically letting me know everything's gonna be all right. Not just I didn't have as much of a visual experience as you did, like where you saw people as like claymation and things like that, but I had an experience where I was laying in my room with my face on the bed, with my eyes closed, telling myself to go to sleep because I was tripping so fucking hard that I was scared for my life. I was just so deep in my head that I basically had convinced myself that I didn't have that much longer to live type shit. So I was just freaking the fuck out in my room, telling myself that I needed to go to sleep. Once I wake up, I won't be tripping anymore. It'll all be all right. Just go to sleep type shit. All of a sudden, I feel all 5 of the members in the house at the time, including Daniel, hug me. With my face down, I'm not seeing anything. Hug me, tell me, Josh, it's all gonna be okay. You're okay, Josh. Like, don't worry about whatever's going on. Like, just try to focus on yourself and try to get through this. You're strong. You're the strongest of all of us. Like, all of these like compliments and like loving things, and like it was weird because I didn't open my eyes for a full like what felt like 30 minutes. It was probably only like 5 or 10 minutes, but at the point that I did kind of like come out of my room and feel a little bit better, I asked everybody, like, think I went up to Chance at one point. I was like, "Thank you guys for doing that." And he was like, "What are you talking about?" Shit never happened, dog. This shit never happened. I had a full audible and like physical touch hallucination that never happened. And I still to this day cannot explain it. I mean, I can't explain it. I was on a lot of drugs. But I can't explain, like, other than saying that, like, that phenomenon was insane type shit.
So, that makes sense. The emotional, what would you call it?
Distress? I don't know.
I mean, I would almost say passion.
Oh, yeah.
Emotional
Okay, I
passion
see what you're
situation.
Yeah.
I had a similar situation when I already told you guys that I tripped whenever I was camping with my buddy Josh and we took the acid and mushrooms at the same time. I know I already told you all about that, but one of the things I wrote down, I brought a notebook with me while I was there, and I was going to write down a lot of the stuff that I was thinking or feeling at the time when I was tripping. And of course, during my trip, I did not at all even think about the notebook because I was tripping so hard, so there's no way. And we were trying to build a fire.
I've done that.
You know what I mean? And I was like, ooh, I'm going to write in this while I'm
No.
tripping.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I'm going to write some lyrics. You know what I mean?
You
Like,
guys
I'm
were
just
trying to
write
build a
song.
fire mid-trip?
We did.
They did build a fire by the
Seated,
fucking.
motherfucker.
Now, there's stipulations here. I don't know if I'm using that word wrong. Maybe I am. I don't think I am. But, so we are building this fire. We built it, and we're congratulating ourselves because, I mean, I think whenever we started building it when it was like afternoon, and then whenever the sun was like going down and it was sunset, we had burned this really big log, and we were burning it right down the middle so we could break it in half and use both sides as, you know what I mean, like put both sides like on the fire. And so we were burning it, and I guess he took it off. So I thought it wasn't on fire anymore, but it was just like weak burnt wood.
Oh, shit.
And I was just tripping so hard. So I full fist grabbed it.
Nice.
And
Good
it
move.
fucking scorched my hand.
Yeah, smart move.
Yeah.
Good one.
Dude, what the fuck?
Well, I was just, I mean,
Did you have any, like, damage to your hand, or was it just, like, not that bad? You, like, kind of put it right back down?
no, I dropped it, my hand bubbled up, my skin bubbled
Oh, gross, dude.
Yeah, and I was like, oh my god, I gotta go to a hospital.
Did you?
No, we were on top of like a hill mountain thing, and we were on LSD and mushrooms. Okay, and we were on LSD and mushrooms. Like,
This talk makes me.
no,
wanna
I
do-
couldn't.
Makes me want to try something. I haven't done them in a minute. I haven't done them in so long, dude. It's been over a year since I've tripped.
It was beautiful.
It's been at least no, not at least a year. It's probably been a good 7 to 8 months for me.
Cause even
I
like
did mushroom chocolate bar.
because when I did Forest, I didn't trip. I didn't trip at Wakan either.
You
I haven't-
didn't
Oh
take shrooms
wait,
at
I
all?
was gonna finish my story. I'm sorry.
No. Finish your story. We're over here talking about fucking drug use. We should not be talking about.
I got that CBD got to me, but
Great
Yeah, but-
CBD, dude.
So we wake up in the morning and it was like there was like a dew that came through because it's Texas, right? So this dew came through, but it was like still kind of it wasn't really chilly, but it was nice and cool.
You said do.
Yeah, dew.
Okay.
a
I heard
fog.
dude.
There
both
was-
I also
so
heard dude. I also
both
heard dude.
times I heard
And you're like,
dude.
cause it's
So
Texas.
that's
I was
why
like, I don't know how
like,
common that
To
is,
give
but
you an
okay.
example and set. I'll give you a setting. So we're on top of this hill / mountain thing that's like a bunch of like real trees. It's not like bushes and stuff like that, like foliage. It's like a full ass forest and like rolling hills. And it's like northeast Texas. And so when we were tripping, it was like midnight. We're like trying to sleep. You're in the tent and we're sitting there, and the wind is blowing through the trees, and it sounds like waves crashing on the beach. Like it was like.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it sounded the exact same.
That's fucking
And
awesome.
I was like, I had my eyes closed, and I was just tripping so hard. And I heard the waves on the beach, and I was like, had my eyes closed.
You're just
And
like
for
in a
second-
Corona
for a second,
commercial.
I was there. I was like,
Find your beach.
I mean, it was just.
That's easy to do though. When you're tripping that hard and you hear that, honestly, I've been there where I'm like, I'm here. Then I look up, I'm like, oh shit! I'm like, no, I'm not there. Like,
But then we woke up and the fog had come in. So when we're walking back down, it's like it's got to be like 8 o'clock in the morning. We're probably still like it's probably still in our system because we took it. I don't know. We took it the day before, but we're like walking home at 8 o'clock. In the
it's
morning.
for sure still there.
We're still a little, yeah. Feel a little weird.
Mhm.
And dude, there was all these spider webs that just had dew collected on the webs. So you would just see the spider and like it looked like a snowflake. You know what I mean? But it would
Yeah.
be in these like really big spots in the woods, and it would just be this giant snowflake because there was a bunch of water droplets running along the
Oh
webs.
shit.
Dude, it was that
Is
was
that not
one
like
of the
a-
most beautiful things I've ever seen.
I was gonna say, isn't that not a
Straight
beautiful
up,
part
that
of
was
life?
like a moment of my life I will never forget.
Damn.
Is the image of those spider webs with the
The
moisture
morning
droplets
dew.
running,
Yeah.
it, like covering it. It looked like either a big snowflake or it looked like a spider web covered in ice. Like it was,
That's-
I don't know, it was cool.
Do you ever
That's
think about
sick as
spider
fuck.
webs
It
though?
was
Like,
really, that was a really cool thing to see.
Spider webs are fucking hilarious in my opinion.
hilarious. I was gonna say like
They
beautiful.
make them every night or every day, and they sleep in them, and then the wind takes them down in the fucking morning, and then they have to restart the process. It's just hilarious.
What I'm saying
You
is
think
like
about it.
in
Depends
gen-
on the type of spider.
yeah, but in
Where-
general, like some of them are
True.
stronger than others. But like where I was at, it's
some
like
big outside ones.
spiders in general, like that is a beautiful process. Like, you don't think about it, but in that moment you're like, holy shit.
Yeah,
Like, but that's a
they do
beautiful
that.
part of
And then the
experience. Like,
moisture content is-
That's another thing. Is like when you were talking about getting bored and shit. It's like it's little things we forget about too. It's just like
Yeah,
like the
that's what I'm
spiders
saying.
building the webs. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
It's such a strange. That's what I was saying. Like, it's just to me, it's such a strange way to look at life. Is in that way that
That nihilistic,
that
yeah.
nihilistic way. I was just like,
But like then you look at like a
I was
spider
talking-
web.
I was like, yeah, but
Krypton.
look at this shit. Like, you don't want to see this. You know what I mean? Like, you don't want to be there for that.
Yo,
You know?
look at no. It's like
it's like the flat Earth. It's like, dude, come on. Like, look, I would rather lie myself into believing that this fucking awesome ass moon is out there and that we've walked on it.
there's
I would
a.
rather lie myself into believing that than the Earth.
I don't know why it makes me.
I mean, that's kind of like a lot of people's view on like Christian religion, like whether they believe in it wholeheartedly or not. I mean, they're kind of lying themselves into like going to church on Sunday, going through the motions just so that like they can check the boxes and say, well, I mean, I was a good Christian, so I mean, like whether I know or not or believe or not, I think I'm following the right
Yeah.
path either
As long as I say
way.
I'm sorry.
I was gonna say that shit made me laugh though.
As long as I say I'm sorry, then I'll go.
That's whenever like personally I thought that like religion was kind of bullshit. I was like, so you can like murder people and just like have
And
a
then-
pope come by and absolve you of your
I don't know if it's
shit.
that easy.
You
don't know
kind
if
of-
I think it's that
It
easy.
is, yeah.
Al Capone got fucking.
It is.
I mean, it was legit though.
No, if a
It
priest comes
was,
out, that's in the religion. That is.
It was
for sure.
legit. Hold on, I'll look up
If
the
it's
I don't know,
story.
I've got,
It was
I've got,
a
I got
legitimate
some friends
person.
that are Catholic. That's all
Maybe,
I'm saying.
no,
I don't-
I was raised Catholic. But,
Oh,
like,
really?
Yeah, I was
Are
raised
you
Catholic.
Catholic?
No, I was raised Catholic.
Oh,
I did my
sorry,
first-
Sorry, raised Catholic.
I did my first communion. I started school for my confirmation, but I stopped it. So they fucked that.
So,
So I
okay,
did a lot
so
of
I've
that.
been to Catholic church. I'm not gonna lie, it's probably like,
It
I've been to a
sucks.
lot of different
It
churches. I
sucks.
kind of liked it a little bit.
The community is
most.
there, but like it's ass.
They just took it really seriously.
No, yeah.
And I was like, okay, I respect you. For
You have to
taking it
kneel
seriously.
down before
Yeah,
you
yeah,
go
it
into the
was
thing.
boring
Like,
as
dude,
fuck.
it's long.
Sorry,
It's
sorry.
long, dude. No, I get it. But like, no, I was gonna say, it's like back to the whole thing where you're talking about the droplets and the beautiful thing. Also, have you ever been to like honestly what makes you appreciate life, like to R like LSD, like Reddit or like R acid, R tripping balls or anything like that? It'll be like a fucking rock and someone's like, holy shit, this is fucking beautiful right now. And it's like, or like a wall with nothing, and then everyone's like, yeah, dude. It's like nuts.
Yeah, man.
He's like, dude, holy shit, y'all, like, this is fucking insane. And everyone, it's just a picture of a regular ass
Yeah.
wall, bro, with nothing on it.
Okay, to be fair, I don't like. I'm making it sound like I am super experienced with this stuff, but to be clear, I did it like frequently after I graduated high school.
I mean, still pretty experienced. I mean, do you know how long ago that was?
But that was in 2015 is when I graduated. So 2016
That's-
through like 2018. I
7
was
years.
Doing, I took like a lot of mushrooms in a period of time.
Literal same.
Yeah, it was a.
But
it
I
was
did
a
a lot of acid.
But how was your last
And then
experience?
I only took acid like twice.
Really?
I only ever did that, or I think 3 times. twice with a friend of mine a long time ago, and then I did it. Yeah, and then I did it once here recently with the mushroom.
How was that last trip though? We still haven't got to. I asked that last time.
Man,
You still didn't tell
it
me.
was really strange because I took
Last
one
Friday.
and I didn't. It was like I took one and I didn't really feel it for a long time.
Took acid Friday.
On Saturday.
Saturday. Took acid Saturday.
Yeah. And I took one and I didn't really feel it. So then I took two.
Classic. That's a classic. That's a classic. I didn't.
Literally, like every
And then I-
single time.
And then I took three.
That's the one. That's the one that gets you over the edge. You know.
And
what I mean?
but I'm not really that guy. Like I don't do this stuff that often. But every time I do it, I always do
Go
more.
deep. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I just because I don't know.
You
It's
gotta
like,
go deep sometimes. You know, like Randy Moss.
Because that's the point, right? I mean, is it not? You know.
No.
But
No, wait.
no. I mean, like
You're wrong. It is the point.
I only ever do it around like friends. You know. Like,
Oh,
I've
my-
got a good set and setting. You know. But I don't do it that often. But when I do it, because
So to make you
it's a spiritual
So
thing.
to
right?
make you feel with that, like take a little bit of the edge off that you're currently feeling. I have done acid at least 50 times, if not
Wow.
more than 100. It's
Whoa.
it's
I'm
in
not like
that
that high
range.
up there.
That's crazy.
In that range.
I've
Yeah,
done it
no,
probably
I've taken mushrooms
easily.
probably like about like. No.
I did acid for the first time when I was
Not back when I was
16. No, but like I'm not gonna lie, I would never do acid. We ordered off the dark web.
Yeah, that was a good one.
We got M-bombs, so
Okay, can I ask you guys this? Does it feel kind of like a rite of passage for our generation?
What?
Like at this point?
Acid?
Yeah.
What do you
For
mean?
our- for our-
Explain, elaborate before I answer.
Like how many how many people in our age group that you know, generally, even within like 8 years?
You're saying it's
Like a coming of age
younger and
moment?
older. Yeah, like, I mean, but honestly,
people I like
People I respect.
generally
yes.
hang out. No. People I generally hang out with. Quite a few, but I know a ton of people also that have not.
Okay, but how much do you talk to them?
That part.
Well, that's what I'm saying though. Is like you're saying, is it a rite of passage for people in our generation that we know, yes, and hang out with and
Okay,
respect?
fair. Yeah,
Yes, that's
yeah,
my
okay,
point.
Yeah.
But I know a lot of people who haven't or won't.
True.
And I also
I
know-
just think a lot of people our age are honestly. I think they like a lot of people.
But
do it.
do they pass?
Oh, dude, no. Most
I'm
people.
not saying it's a good or bad.
No,
thing.
no.
I'm not-
You're
I'm
right.
really
You're right.
not
Most
saying-
people
I'm just
our
saying-
age. Most people our age for sure do it. A lot of shrooms or acid. 100%.
Maybe not a lot.
Not a lot,
though,
but
but
like-
like
a lot. I don't
not
know.
a
I've
lot,
never
not
done
a
it.
lot,
I've
not a
never
lot.
Most
done
people
it.
Not a
our
lot.
age have at
Other than that,
least
2 years.
tried it. Have at least tried it once. Most people, I feel like. Maybe
I would
not-
say
maybe
yes,
That's
that's
even
true.
perspective based. You know what I mean? But regardless,
No, I
whenever
know.
I say
I know
most
a
people I
lot.
respect, I
Do you
think
think there's a lot of people that say they've tried it that haven't?
I understand that it's
Yes.
not for everybody. I understand that it's not for everybody, but I do think that if you don't have any like medical predispositions that would like cause you to like have a negative reaction to psychedelics, then you should try it. I mean, what the fuck are you scared of, motherfucker?
Well,
Like,
because isn't that the whole point? Is that like I feel like psychedelics are cool because you can let's all admit they're a little bit scary at the same time that they're fun.
the thing that
Yes.
makes them fun is the same thing that makes them scary.
Yeah, it's like why
It's
do people
not knowing what's
why do
about to
people-
happen.
Why do people skateboard? Why do people
Right.
Why do people do BMX?
You could get
Why
hurt.
do- you know what I mean? Like
No.
it's the fact that it's like a thrill.
Right.
I'll say
It's
this.
a thrill.
I don't care how many times I've done it. The come up has never not once been a good time. Like I have hated every single time. There's never been a time when I'm like
I've
the come
fallen
up.
asleep during a come up and had the acid wake me up.
I was there. I've also had that happen, but I was there for that. I've also had that happen there. But there has been times with the come up where I'm like most of the time I would come up. I'm like my stomach. I feel it. I'm like my body feels like I'm fucking about to like hit a metamorphosis. Like the scales.
Metamorphosis.
You know what I'm saying? Like the scales of my body. Like I'm getting like
I'm about to transform Optimus.
like you know a reptile whenever the fucking skin gets all fucking crusty and then it like breaks free and it's fucking.
Wait, are you a reptilian? Is that what you just?
That's how it feels. It feels like I'm going into a metamorphosis and I'm coming out of a new birth. Cause I'm like, oh, and I curl up, I'm like, and then I'm like, oh shit, let's go.
You
And then
built a cocoon. Beautiful butterfly.
But when I'm tripping, when I'm fucking tripping though, it's either like if I'm by myself, I usually can get along pretty well, but then there's a point sometimes where I'm like looking at people and I'm like, I should not be staring that hard. I'm like, you ever see someone tripping dicks before? And they're just like,
Yeah, Shroom tea. I've done separate.
5 grams. I ate them
One was a
raw.
smoothie and one was not the heart. Was my
Oh yeah, dude. I took 5 grams by accident, and I was in public I was at Stereo Live and accidentally took 5 grams. So you tell me, dude.
accidentally this
I was by myself. I was at Stereo Live at a show, and I thought I was taking a gram.
to clarify, he was there with friends, but he drove himself there, and I was not. He was by himself, but he knew he wasn't alone.
And I thought I was taking a gram, and I was like, he was like, all right, we're gonna take ours, and then you take yours, right? I was like, bet. So they took theirs, and he gave me the bag. So he's like, yeah. So I went to the restroom to go take it, and I thought the rest was for me. I was
That was
wrong.
his share.
But
Thought
they
what
were just like,
gave him
no,
was-
eat your share, but the rest of the 5 grams.
ate all of it.
And I was at Stereo Live at an electronic show
Bro came
where
out
I
the-
drove there by myself, thinking I was only gonna take a gram of mushrooms. So I'll be cool by the time I leave to drive back. It was not. Dude,
Bro, this is
I had
hilarious.
it. Look, no, dude, it was weird because like the whole time, dude, like this. Since then, this has never. I went up to some dude. I was like, "Hey, can I call my friend real quick?" I was like, "All right," and then I was like, "All right, I'll be here." He's like, "Nah, it's cool, dude. Just like I'll be around." And he walked off while I had his
So
phone.
fucking-
I was like about to. I was like starting to. I was like, "What?" So I memorized his number somehow right before I tripped, and it was like ingrained in my brain. So I called him, then I called my ex, and then like I somehow got them to fucking.
No, he
Come to-
didn't do any of that. We facilitated that. We were worried about him, bro. He called both of us and told us the mistake. And I immediately called her. I was like, "Are you on the way?" And she was
No, he's lying because I called
No.
him. No, I called him and I was like,
like, I said you called both of us.
but then I
said
called him and
after
I
you
was
called
like,
both of us.
hey, something. I told him something about my ex, and he was like, I was like, can you figure that out? And he's like, all right, fuck it.
Exactly what I just fucking
But I
said.
told him to
is
figure
that
it out 'cause I
I
couldn't figure it-
facilitated the whole other part of what you're saying.
And low key, whenever it ended, I went back to my car and I was tripping dicks and I couldn't even see straight. But I was in my car
First of all,
and
hold on.
my phone was dead. I was like, I hope they find me.
rewind.
Dude, they pull up right next to my car. I look over, I'm like, oh, thank God.
Fucking wind. I'm at a fucking bar in Houston. Call from this. I have to watch. Accept the call. And I'm talking to him. I'm like, oh fuck, dude, I drive here. I have
That's
no
what I
way.
called my
I have
ex.
no way of getting to you.
Yeah, I called my ex after that. He said that. I
So
called him
she-
first.
Drove up from Dickinson up to Houston. Pick me. I don't even. Washington. But he picked me up. We drove out to Stereo Live. We pull up and his phone is dead. I know where he always parks. He's on this back road type shit. Like where
I
I,
still park
don't
close
know
to
why
that to this
people
day.
park there because people always get their shit broken into on.
Oh yeah, no one parks there anymore. No one parks there because of that. But I have a place
But-
next there. I park now.
But
Yeah.
we pull up. I'll never forget. We pull up and this motherfucker's.
I was like, holy shit! I was like, I couldn't.
My God,
No, I
he's-
couldn't believe it because I had
I was
just
like,
gotten in
he's
my car.
cooked. He's cooked, ladies and gentlemen. He's done.
I couldn't believe it. I had just gotten my car literally for like 3 minutes because I was like, I don't know how they're gonna find me. I look up and I'm like, holy shit! Like one of the like they had pulled up right as I got in my car. It literally had to be the fucking craziest thing and blew my fucking. And then I got home and I threw my fucking guts up.
That shit was black. It was gross.
But I held it together for as
Held
long.
his
I
hair
held,
while
to
he
be
held
fair,
it
I held it
together.
together the entire time until we got home. So that's 5 grams.
Yeah. All of them.
Do you know how much that is? Yeah, but 5 grams. Like I've never I only taken grams once before that. It was 3.5, and that shit fucked me.
Sex with him in the restroom of that club.
So the 5 grams had me. I was like, but like everyone was so nice. I for some reason kept running to people like, hey man, you can stay with us if you want. And I was like, yeah, no, they were really nice people. It was weird, but like
I'm sure they were.
And then I
just
ran
nice.
into
I'm sure
I
they
ran
were
into an
just
old,
nice.
and then I ran into an old friend I hadn't seen in years, and I was like, this is too much for me. He was super nice. It was actually my
Super
high
nice.
school. It was my high school weed dealer.
Which one?
I couldn't even remember his name if I told you.
Fuck yeah, dude.
There's only one I remember. Trosset was the only one I remember. And that could be anybody. It's a lot. It's a last name. It's a last name.
Plenty of people with that last.
So there are. He doesn't even live. He doesn't live.
Sounds specific.
He actually moved to this exact. No, I'm kidding. He moved though. He doesn't live here anymore. So
But nah, dude. What? So since you asked us, what's the deep?
our acid. Well, you haven't done acid rooms, yeah.
Then ask it.
Did like 3 times though.
Don't recommend it, but I've driven almost. Always like. Don't recommend it. I probably shouldn't do it. Probably won't stop.
Yeah, duh. 2018?
Like
That was Harvey. The only one that's around that. Harvey was 2016.
Ah, yeah. And I do.
What city?
I know
No.
Strawberry Brook. Nah, bro, that's
Our love. There's a hurricane.
dude. What if like
happening.
What if like lightning hit
insane.
that pool and you?
But also, you know what's crazy? You still haven't explained what happened Saturday. You haven't given it the full. Then you guys are 3. We like got off track.
I'm saying this now. I don't know how we're gonna get home later.
Classic. It is. You said you saw the universe. I want to hear about that. Yeah, that goes dark. It was yeah.
Raining out.
You couldn't really see much, but it was just all color. Yeah. Right back.
Close your. Why you might. I think what it own the thing challenging. A lot of people crippling. But once you get out through the but you focusing stress. Some of but I mean, isn't that kind of what being a like been a psychonaut? Right. I think it's not a cheat, but there might be some. There, no. But there might be code to it.
Depends
Know
on
what
what
I
you
mean?
consider enlightenment.
Like we said, absolutely, that's built on perception as well.
Yeah.
But like maybe possible. All these instead fucking monk and him and hit up our guy.
It's like the idea of like you trip and you do all this shit, and it's like I figured it all out. It's like, are you gonna continue to do the work after you trip, or is it just like like it's just like a lot of people see us like that. I mean I meditate
Not
every day
always.
because of that.
But scary ones. I've had a thought. I've had narrow ability, but like I had the thought process that what if every trip you so so there's gonna be something somewhere down the line that doesn't make fucking sense why this is happening. How about you tell that story about the talking to coworker?
No,
Or
that's
she
what
had a dream-
no. Yeah, I had a
Tell the story.
so I had a dream, right, about like someday I had at work, whatever, with a coworker talking to me, whatever, and like on the way to work, I was like, "That happened?" Like I literally like it fucked with me because I was like, "Is that a dream or did was that like how it happened yesterday?" Because sometimes I like it happens like that. I was like, or was that something that actually happened yesterday? Yeah. It felt like that. I got to work and then she came up to me, started talking to me, and I was like, "Holy shit!" I was like,
now.
I was like, no, like, cause that was like the most direct. Like, there's times where like later down the road you had a dream, and then like days later, or whatever. But it was like on the way there, I was thinking about that dream I had just had, and she started talking to me, and I literally was like, "No one will ever believe this." Like literally.
What it does for it
Yeah.
does for my brain is
Exactly.
what it does for my brain is like a thing is
The arrival.
going if something is going to happen to me.
I believe we all have pull from this.
You know what I
think
mean?
Time is circular. I will hold that thought process forever. Yeah. So everything's constantly happening. It's just life is a circle. I mean, and that goes back to like the as above, so below. The microcosm is like, it's like life is a circular thing. It's like everything is gonna consistently happen, gonna come back, and go back around. It's just a thing that we consistently always like. We've seen this before. It's just because life is a circular like this. Literally, it's the circle of life. You know what I'm saying? Come on, bro. Like we've all heard that shit. It's just. I hate to say it, but it is a classic. fucking thing.
Know exactly where. A different energy in the room. That's kind of. Is that program? Maybe everything outside the fire did. Like if I barely understand the technology. I barely understand
I
the
don't
technology in my phone at all. You know what I mean? Like I have no idea how to like wrap my head around fully like, that everyone is plugged into. Only one person is plugged into part of the program. Fuck.
low-key-
That part. That part for sure.
I think about it in the sense of like quantum, like light, like like they can solve a solution in the matter. You know, like a long-term solution in the matter of seconds.
I think
Are we just like that though?
it's a experience.
Yeah, but it's like how do we, how do we know? Don't.
Is it an absolute truth that they don't have that?
How do we
absolute
know?
truth?
Honestly, let's make that a fucking sticker. Let's fucking
Dude, let's make that a t-shirt, dude.
Fucking.
But how do we know, dude?
But how do we know? No, but sensation.
Katie
but
was
like,
killed by a magic bullet.
But
But
in
how
a
do
se-
we know, dude?
hey, but it's like if we're just AI in a simulation, like we could feel sensation, right? Do AI feel sensation? We don't know yet because we
It
haven't
depends
got
on
there,
the
motherfucker.
haptic feedback suit. Poor or rich. You don't got the 2023 Hyperflex 2000.
Holy shit. All right. We've been recording. We've been recording for 2.5 hours. We're gonna wrap it up. Honestly, this has been fun as fuck, though. Cole,
Yeah.
thank you for coming on. It's been fucking awesome. It's been fine and dandy. Thank you, Doofles. You high as fuck. Doofles is on acid. Done. Nah,
He's
this has been
done.
fucking awesome, though. This was a really good one, and I really enjoyed it. It's been a great time.
How much audio on my
No, I think it did.
mic?
I think the video probably stopped, turned off. The recording? Awesome. Probably not. Probably not.
All right, everybody.
Come on. All right. Yep.
From us here at Fine and Dandy Studios, you guys have a great night and a great week.
There's one thing you
Bye.
could tell the people, Cole. What would you tell
Dicks.
them? Hell yeah. Let's fucking go. Until next time, you guys. Y'all take care. Thank you.
A good week.